Hello guys, this is your friend Naruto Audio Fanfics and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto rebuilt Uzushiogakure from the ashes, and Karin, Hinata, Temari and Fu became his queens part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. 5-year-old Naruto Uzumaki was panting hard as he finally evaded the angry mob that was chasing him. What did I ever do to them? I mean, yeah, I pranked them, but that's because they hurt me, the small blonde said to himself. He sighed and peered out to make sure the coast was clear. It was a green light and he moved quickly to avoid being spotted and ended up in his ramshackle apartment. He opened the door to find it was broken into and ransacked once again with hateful graffiti smeared all over the walls while most of his possessions have been destroyed, once again. He sighed and began picking up the pieces of his broken items. Cleaning up was always such a pain. Just another day for him. Scene break. The next day Naruto was again being chased by an angry mob. His head was bleeding from a bottle that had been thrown at him. The blood was running down his face and neck, it was blurring his vision, but still he pressed on. His legs were screaming in pain for him to rest, but he ignored the plea. He kept running till he collided with something and fell to the ground painfully. He looked up scared out of his mind since he knew that it would be a matter of time before he was beaten by the mob. Hey, are you alright? Naruto looked up and saw a man with short spiky red hair and crystal blue eyes that looked awfully familiar to the short blonde. The man looked down at him with concern. Before Naruto could speak the mob arrived. There you are demon, we're going to finish what the fourth started, one of the mob shouted. Demon. This is just a young child, not a demon whatsoever, the man said confused. It's a demon all right. It's just taking a form of that child, a woman shrieked. The man looked confused, but then saw something that caught his eye. Naruto's shirt had ridden up a bit when he fell down and he didn't push it down at all. The man crouched down and made to look at Naruto's stomach. Naruto saw the movement and flinched. It's all right, I'm not going to hurt you, the man said softly. Naruto was hesitant, but allowed the man to do what he was going to do. The man pulled Naruto's shirt up and used some chakra and it revealed the seal on Naruto's stomach. He was shocked at what he saw, but then he knew he needed to know something else. The boy just felt familiar to him, something was drawing him to the boy. What's your name? The man asked. NN Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto said. The man's eyes widened then narrowed at the crowd that still lingered. He got up glaring at them. You dare to harm one of the last of the Uzumaki bloodline, the man growled. He's just a demon that needs to be killed. A man in the mob shouted. You've signed your death warrant, the man said and dashed forward with amazing speed. The mob was cut down and none were left alive. The man cleaned off his sword he had used then turned back to Naruto who was laying on the ground still in shock of what he had just seen. Come on, I am taking you out of here, the man said. Naruto didn't get a word in as he was picked up and carried away from Konoha. Scene break. Hiruzen Sarutobi had his head in his hands. The huge pile of paperwork on his desk was ignored. His head snaps up at the presence of another person. Any sign? He asked in a very tired voice. No, Lord Hokage. I am sorry, the Anbu said shaking his head. Very well. You are excused, Hiruzen said with a sigh. The Anbu nodded and left. It has been 3 days since Naruto was last seen in the village. No one had seen him since and this troubled the aged ruler. He had made a promise to his good friend to watch over Naruto and had failed this. The team of Anbu that was supposed to be watching Naruto at the time took off early before the mob began. When Hiruzen finally found this out he chewed them all out before demoting them all. He then went searching for Naruto, but only found the bloody mess, but no sign of Naruto at all. This worried the old ruler mightily. When the rest of the village caught wind that Naruto was gone huge celebrations sprung up all over. Hiruzen was angered by this and sent out his forces to stop the celebrating. To celebrate the disappearance of a young child was sickening. Naruto, where are you? He asked as he looked out the window. Scene break. Naruto was now in an unusual place. He looked around trying to figure out his new surroundings, but came up with nothing. Soon the door opened and a girl his age walked in carry a tray of food. Oh good, you're awake, she said with a smile. Who are you? Naruto asked. My name is Mika. The girl said, then walked over and placed the tray of food on Naruto's lap. Mika had long red hair with a yellow ribbon tied to it that kept most of her red locks away from her face. It helped when she trained not to have her hair in her face. She wore a simple kimono in the color of deep aqua with koi fish in many colors. She had green eyes that were stunning. Naruto's mouth salivated as the rich smells hit his nose. He wanted to fight the urge to ravage what was before him, but couldn't. It was a bloodbath in the food-eating sense. Mika sat back knowing from what her uncle had told her when he found Naruto. Naruto was malnourished and probably hadn't had a decent meal ever. So she wasn't disgusted at all, though she did hope Naruto had some manners. When Naruto was finished, he patted his stomach. Man, that was good, he sighed. Glad you like it, Mika said with a smile. Yeah, so where am I? Naruto asked. You're in New Whirlpool. Naruto turned and saw it was the same man he first saw back in Konoha. With this, Mika took the tray and left the room, leaving just Naruto and the man alone. My name is Hideko. How are you feeling, Naruto? He asked. Fine. Though why am I here? Naruto asked. You don't know anything about your family? Hideko asked, frowning. Naruto shook his head. No, I've tried to ask the old man, but he told me he'd tell me when I was older, he said. Old man? Hideko asked curiously. Yeah, he's the Hokage, Naruto said. I see, Hideko said with narrowed eyes. So why am I here? Naruto asked again. This is going to be a long talk, Hideko said with a sigh. He walked over, pulling up a chair next to Naruto's bed. He then told Naruto about his family, the Uzumaki clan. The Uzumaki clan was one of the most powerful clans in all of the 5 nations. They had their own village with just Uzumaki and clans that were cousins of the Uzumakis called Whirlpool because of the huge whirlpools that surrounded and protected the village. They lived with prosperity until the Second Shinobi War came and Kiri and Iwa invaded and destroyed Whirlpool. It was said there were no survivors, but that wasn't true. Several survived the slaughter and set up a new smaller village where Naruto is now. The new village was well hidden and not many knew where it was. There were many seals around the village to conceal it as well as to protect it too. Naruto couldn't believe all he was being told. Especially the fact that he was the last of the Uzumaki bloodline. He found out about his mother and his father, who was the man that sealed the Kyuubi. He also found he was the one that held the Kyuubi. Naruto, know that you are not the Kyuubi, you just contain it. You and it are not the same, Hideko said. Naruto just nodded. Hideko could sense Naruto was still coming to terms with all that was dropped on him, so he left to give Naruto some time to think. Scene break. Once Naruto was feeling well enough, he left his bed and given a tour by Mika. She was so happy to have this duty and did her best to show Naruto all of the New Whirlpool. Naruto found the place was very warm and welcoming. He was welcomed by all they met and they were all happy that he was here since he was one of the last of the bloodline. He still didn't know what that meant, so he just ignored it for now. So what do you think, Naruto? Mika asked as they finished the tour. It's great, Naruto said. I'm glad, Mika said. Naruto smiled. He learned more about the village that he was ready to call home. He decided not to go back to Konoha. This was home to him, to be around his own blood, his family. He met more of his family as well as clans that were connected with his clan in some shape or form. Naruto was never happier in his life. Scene break. Years later. Naruto was now 14 and a full-fledged shinobi of the New Whirlpool village. He, along with Mika and his other teammate Ryo with Junin-sensei Hideko. Naruto was their main fighter using ninjutsu, taijutsu and fuinjutsu, with Mika their medic nin, but she was more than capable in a fight. Then there was Ryo. Ryo preferred kenjutsu and excelled in it to an almost master level even though he is a genin. Hideko watched over all of them. Naruto had changed a whole lot since he started calling New Whirlpool his home. He ditched his orange jumpsuit, opting to wear more shinobi-appropriate clothing. He wore shinobi-style black pants along with a dark green long-sleeve shirt with a specially made vest to hold the numerous scrolls he carried. He had a gray trench coat that had a huge image of a whirlpool on the back. On his feet were black combat boots, but they had seals to make them silent and for durability. He also became more studious and serious. A side that Konoha would be shocked to see. Naruto was quite intelligent, But since pretty much everyone in the Leaf Village thought of him as a demon, he hid that brain. But now in his new home where he was welcomed and cherished, really he allowed himself to remove the mask of ignorance and stupidity. Naruto was also called the last Uzumaki since the blood that runs through his veins is the purest to the Uzumaki line. Everyone in New Whirlpool had Uzumaki blood in various percentages, but Naruto's was the most pure and making rightful heir to the Uzumaki clan. Mika hadn't changed much since meeting Naruto. The two became instant friends and Mika was Naruto's best friend and confidant. They shared a sibling relationship with each other. She still wore her hair the same way, though she had cut it shorter with the yellow ribbon now used to tie a short ponytail. She told Naruto it was easier to maintain. Naruto was confused about this, but took her word for it. Mika now wears a pale green kunoichi battle dress with the Uzumaki swirls on both of her shoulders in the color of blue. She carried several poisons and antidotes and other things a medic nin would need to carry. She also had a tanto on her back as well. She was great in medic jutsu, but was also good in taijutsu too. She was called the Tsunade of Whirlpool since she was just as famous as the legendary Slug Queen. Except she didn't have the Slug Queen's legendary strength, yet. Ryo Kasaragi was a brown-haired black-eyed boy from the Kasaragi clan. He liked to use kenjutsu mainly, but was very good at genjutsu too. He didn't like using ninjutsu and his taijutsu was adequate enough. He wore a mesh top with a brown shirt over it along with black shinobi pants. Along with sturdy shin and ankle guards that with the introduction of chakra could fire off kunai or shuriken thanks to seals embedded in the shin and ankle guards. A katana is on his back while keeping his other weapons in scrolls on his person like a certain Konoha weapon mistress. His clan has a history with Naruto's and they were bodyguards of the Uzumakis as well as their personal assassins too. All three were excellent with fuinjutsu, which is a trait all New Whirlpool shinobi have. They start when they are young and since it's in their blood it doesn't take long for the kids to know how to do explosive tags by the age of 6 and storage scrolls by 7. They are taught what they need to be a shinobi at the academy, but fuinjutsu is taught by the entire village. Everyone knew fuinjutsu though on different levels. Naruto was different since he started late, but it didn't take him long to catch up since he had deft skill. Mainly because who his parents were. He was also the most creative when it came to fuinjutsu and experimented a lot with them, creating new seals that no other fuinjutsu master had ever thought of before. He was hailed as a prodigy. At the moment the team was on their way back from a mission when Mika sensed something. She was also the sensor in the team. What is it, Mika? Naruto asked. There's several chakra signatures over there, Mika said. Let's check it out, Hideko said. The team came over and saw a battle happening. At the moment they saw a team of genin guarding an old man while their Junin sensei was fighting. That man is Zabuza, a swordsman of the hidden mist, Ryo said. No one questioned him since he knew all the known kenjutsu users in the world. Shit, they're from Konoha, Naruto muttered, taking a closer look at the headband. Hideko knew this could be trouble if they were found out. He had kidnapped Naruto from his home really. But before he could give the order to leave they saw the Konoha Junin go in for the kill, but was stopped by a mist hunter nin. I'd like to thank you for assisting me. I have been looking for Zabuza for quite a while. Oh, and the four in the bushes, come on out, the hunter nin. With a few grumbles the New Whirlpool team appeared out of their hiding place. They shocked the Konoha team. This gave the chance for the hunter nin to take Zabuza's body away. Who are you and why are you here? The Junin asked. Take it easy. I am Hideko and me and my team were on our way back from a mission when one of my genin sensed your battle, Hideko said. The Junin, who had white hair sticking up and had a mask covering his mouth, looked at the team. He looked at the headband and was shocked at the symbol on it. It couldn't be. On the headband was a swirl symbol. He was quite familiar with what that meant. Whirlpool. They were destroyed, he said. That's what many of you thought, Kakashi Hatake, but there were survivors. We had gathered and started a new village and stayed hidden so we wouldn't be wiped out, Hideko said. I see. It seems you are well informed though, Kakashi said. We are. So what are you doing here if you don't mind me asking? Hideko asked. Kakashi was about to tell them when a shriek was heard. Kakashi sensei, why should we tell them they are foreign ninja? The shriek came from a pink-haired girl. Look girly. You are too young to know this, but Konoha and Whirlpool have a long-standing alliance with one another. You should know that since the swirl that's on your flak jackets and other shinobi items are the symbol of whirlpool, Hideko said, glaring at the pink-haired girl. Kakashi apologized, then told the new whirlpool team their mission. I see, Hideko said. You've got your hands full then. That so-called hunter Nin didn't even kill Zabuza, Mika said. What? And how do you know that? The pink-haired girl shrieked. First of all, talk like a normal person and stop shrieking. Second, I am a trained medic Nin and know what that hunter Enin did caused Zabuza to go into a near-death state, Mika said. The pink-haired girl was about to argue when Naruto jumped in. He wasn't going to let some annoying banshee criticize his first and best friend. There's also the fact that hunter Nins cut the head off of their target then burn the body. This one didn't do either, thus making it suspicious, Naruto said. Kakashi's eye widened when he looked at Naruto. It couldn't be, he looked just like his sensei. Really? Is your name Naruto? He asked. Yes, it is. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, genin of the village of New Whirlpool, Naruto said proudly. Well, now that is cleared up and all. We best be going. Good luck on your mission, Hideko said, wanting to get out of here as soon as he could just in case Kakashi tried to steal Naruto away. Wait, do you think you could help us out? We are still allies and we'd appreciate it, Kakashi said. He wanted to know more about Naruto since he was one of the few Anbu that kept looking for him even after the official search was called off. He just knew Naruto wasn't dead and was so glad to see him alive even though he was wearing another shinobi headband. I don't know. We should be heading back to report, Hideko said hesitantly since he didn't want Naruto exposed to Konoha any more than needed. No problem, Hideko, Naruto said, not having the same concern as his sensei. He then bit his thumb and did some hand signs and slammed his hand down. Summoning jutsu. A big poof of white smoke arose, and when it cleared, an overly large tiger cub appeared. It was the size of a Labrador retriever. Hey Naruto, what's up? The tiger cub said, raising its paw in greeting. Hey Samshi, can you give this to Auntie and tell her we're helping Konoha shinobi? Naruto asked as he jotted down a note then handed it to the tiger cub. No problem, Samshi said, taking the scroll in its mouth then popping away. What was that? A black-haired boy asked. That's called a summon. I hold several summoning contracts, Naruto said. That was true. Naruto did hold many summoning contracts and he shared them with his two teammates. As one of the last true Uzumakis, he carried several summoning scrolls to several beasts. The Uzumakis were the ones to create and then distribute many of the summoning contracts that were out in the world. Give me one, the black-haired boy demanded. No, Naruto said. The black-haired boy glared and charged at Naruto, but was stopped a few feet from Naruto when a blade of a katana was at his throat. Our villages may be allies, but if you try and hurt Naruto, I won't hesitate to kill you, Ryo said with a murderous glare. It was a known fact in the village that Ryo's family, the Kasaragi clan, were close bodyguards of the Naruto's clan. Ryo took his responsibility very seriously. No one was going to get close to Naruto on his watch. Hey, you can't do that to Sasuke. The pink-haired girl shrieked. Can I shut her up? I want to keep my hearing, Mika asked as she pulled out a few Senbon needles from her hip pouch. No, you can't, Mika. Ryo, stand down, Hideko ordered. Only if he does, Ryo said. Hideko sighed and looked at Kakashi. Back off, Sasuke, Kakashi said. Sasuke HMPHED then went back to his team, glaring all the way. Ryo put his katana away, but kept his eyes on the Konoha team. He wasn't going to let them hurt his charge. Let's head to the bridge builder's home and we can discuss things there, Kakashi suggested. With that, the two teams got to the bridge builder's home. There they were greeted by the man's daughter and his grandson. Once settled, which it was decided they'd stay sleep with their own team, they gathered in the living room for a meeting. Well, this is a surprise finding that people of Whirlpool are alive, but I am very glad, Kakashi said. What's so great about them? Sasuke asked. Many things. Uchiha were one of the first villages known in history. We are renowned for Fuinjutsu and have the most powerful clan in history. We're also known for our longevity too, Hideko said. No clan is stronger than the Uchiha clan, Sasuke declared. The pink-haired girl got hearts in her eyes as she stared at Sasuke. Kakashi, you might want to beat the fangirl out of her before she gets herself and your team killed, Naruto said. Shut up, loser. You're just jealous of Sasuke, the pink-haired girl shrieked. Why would I be jealous of a brooding emo with the biggest, rustiest kunai in the world shoved up his backside and whose only goal in life is to kill his own blood because of what supposedly happened, Naruto said. Sasuke's eyes narrowed as he looked at Naruto. What do you know of it? He asked. I know a lot and I can tell you that you're nothing compared to your brother. He's stronger, wiser, way cooler than you could ever be and you'll never beat him, Naruto said. Sasuke jumped up and was ready to attack Naruto, but was stopped by Ryo's deadly glare. Where is he? Where is Itachi? The Uchiha demanded. Can't tell you. I am sworn to secrecy, Naruto said. Sasuke looked ready to explode. Calm down, Sasuke. We're getting off topic. What we need to do is figure out is what to do next, Kakashi said, dragging his student back to his seat. Simple. We've heard news of this Gato ruling over Wave like a tyrant. Ryo can take care of him while the rest of us can handle Zabuza and his partner, Hideko said. Really? Kakashi asked with surprise enlaced in his voice. Yes, Ryo's clan the best in Kenjutsu and not only the sworn bodyguards of the Uzumaki clan, but are the best and well-known assassins. They have rarely failed in taking out their target, Hideko said. Kakashi was interested in this since he had never heard of the Ryo's clan at all, but information on Whirlpool was quite sparse. Most of that history was lost after Whirlpool was destroyed and very little is known while most are just rumors. Sasuke grumbled. Tell me, Kakashi, what have you taught your genin? Naruto asked. Just team building skills, Kakashi said. That's it. You haven't taught them tree climbing or water walking? Naruto asked. No, Kakashi said sheepishly. The new Whirlpool team looked at each other. Tree climbing and water walking was taught while at the academy as well as taijutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu, weapons training, and other skills as well as light class work. What in the world did Konoha teach their genin? It seems you have some work to do, Kakashi. Why don't my team guard the bridge builder while you train up your team? Hideko suggested. Sounds good, Kakashi said with an eye smile. Scene break. Ryo left after dark for his solo mission and that left Naruto, Mika and Hideko to guard the bridge builder while the Konoha team trained. Sasuke was pissed at what he was learning. It wasn't anything that would help kill his brother and he wanted to know how this blonde boy knew his brother and what else he knew. That summoning thing looked powerful and it would help him in his quest for vengeance. The pink-haired girl, whose name they found out was Sakura, was totally exhausted. She never did any training before and was bushed by just the lightest of workouts. Last was a pale boy named Sai. He was quiet and observed a lot of things. This made them very suspicious and made sure never to show much in front of the effeminate genin. Other than that, it was really quite boring with guarding the bridge builder, but it had to be done. One night everyone was sitting around eating when the door opened and Ryo came in. Well, Hideko asked. Target eliminated, Ryo said. Hideko nodded. Kakashi was astounded by this as were the other Konoha shinobi. Tazuna and his family too were surprised by how quickly it was over. Naruto and Mika weren't as well as Hideko since they knew what Ryo could do. He must have been weak to lose to you, Sasuke said. He was guarded by many guards, but he still had lousy security. He prepared for every threat possible except for ninja. I killed them and him and brought back a present for Wave, Ryo said. This got Tazuna's attention. Ryo pulled out a booklet from his pouch. This has all of Gato's account numbers. Congratulations, you can now rebuild Wave to its former prosper, Ryo said. Tazuna stared at the booklet in awe, then took it and held it like it was a holy object. Well, now that is over, we just have to deal with Zabuza and his partner, Hideko said. Yes, he should be fully healed soon. We should work out a plan, Kakashi said. Scene break. Later that night, Kakashi was out for a walk when he came upon Naruto. The blonde was sitting on the dock by the house looking out at the water. I didn't think you'd still be up, Kakashi said. Just couldn't sleep, Naruto said. Kakashi nodded and got closer and sitting down by Naruto. Where have you been? The Hokage has been very worried about you. Kakashi asked. I've been home, where I belong, Naruto said, still staring out over the water. Konoha is your home, Kakashi said. Yeah, right. A home where people spat on me, beat me, trashed my apartment, and nearly killed so many times. That's a home, Naruto spat. Kakashi flinched. You did have some who cared about you, he said quietly. Not enough. Naruto sighed. Kakashi bowed his head. I was one of them, he said quietly. I know you were and I thank you all the times you helped me, Naruto said. Kakashi's head snapped up. How do you know? He asked. Not very hard. You haven't changed your hairstyle and I remember you reading those books whenever you watched over me at the hospital, Naruto said as he pointed to the pouch where he kept said book. I see. Kakashi said. Don't worry. I won't tell anyone, Naruto said knowing an Anbu's real name are to be kept secret. Kakashi nodded. Here, you can give this to the old man when you get back, Naruto said handing Kakashi a scroll. Kakashi took it and slipped it into his pouch. Well, I'm going to get some sleep. Night, Naruto said. Night, Naruto, Kakashi said. Once the blonde left, Hideko appeared from the shadows. Were you afraid I might steal Naruto away? Kakashi asked, not even looking around. No, but it never hurts to be safe, Hideko said. I'm guessing you're the one that kidnapped Naruto, Kakashi said. I wouldn't say kidnapped since it wasn't really. I was just returning him back home, Hideko said. I see, Kakashi said. Look, Kakashi, I know all about Naruto being Minato Namikaze's son and everything else about him. Naruto knows too, Hideko said. Kakashi tried to not act surprised, but it was hard to. You may not like what's happening, but what is done is done. Naruto is a shinobi of New Whirlpool where he'll stay unless he wants to go back to Konoha and that will be his decision and his decision only. I will not interfere in that, Hideko said. Kakashi nodded. Konoha has really screwed up, huh? The one-eyed Junin said. Yes, but they can hopefully learn from this. They have lost the best shinobi ever. Naruto was not only the best in his class and rookie of the year, but his skills already rival that of a Junin, Hideko said. Kakashi was amazed of how go Naruto was though his father was quite the shinobi as well. After this mission we'll head back to New Whirlpool, Hideko said. Kakashi sighed and nodded. Scene break. The confrontation on the bridge was lackluster to put it simply. Naruto had placed seals all around the bridge the day before and as soon as Zabuza and his partner came they were trapped. First their chakra was zapped making them weak, then they were incapacitated by Mika with her own Senbon needles before they could even fight back at all. The Konoha team were shocked and amazed by what they saw. Sasuke was pissed that he didn't do anything at all. He still wanted to know how Naruto knew his brother and where his brother could be since he knew that Naruto had a good idea where Itachi was. After that the bridge was finished and it was time to part ways. Hideko decided to take back Zabuza and Haku, who was the name of Zabuza's partner, back to New Whirlpool. Kakashi had no qualms with that and the two teams parted ways. Scene break. Naruto grinned as he entered New Whirlpool. He was finally home. Come Naruto. We have to see the Uzukage, Hideko said. Right. Naruto said with a nod. They got to the Uzukage's office and entered. Mission accomplished, Hideko said. In front of the New Whirlpool team was the Uzukage, Selene Uzumaki, Naruto's aunt. She had long red hair, which was a trait most Uzumaki had, though Naruto was the exception. She had pale green eyes and a kind smile. She had survived the destruction of Whirlpool and helped found and create the new village. She didn't take up office till Naruto came to the village since she didn't want to office in the first place, but with one of her last relatives here she felt compelled to. That's good. And what of the incident in Wave? Selene asked. It's done. Ryo successfully eliminated the tyrant known as Gato and then we along with the Konoha team there took down Zabuza and his partner. They are now in T and I awaiting interrogation, Hideko said. Very good. Your pay for your mission is already in your accounts and I will chat with the Hokage about wages you'll receive for help in Wave. You're dismissed except you Naruto, Selene said. Mika, Ryo and Hideko bowed then left and once the door was shut all formalities disappeared. Selene got up from her desk and hugged Naruto. I was so scared when you sent Samchi back with that note about helping Konoha with their mission, she said. Naruto hugged his aunt back. I am fine auntie, see. Nothing to worry about, Naruto said. I know, but it's my job to worry, Serena said. I know, so what do you want to know? Naruto asked. What do you think of the Genin team you met? Selene asked. Naruto thought a bit then nodded. The team was bad. The team consists of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Sai. Their Junin-sensei is Kakashi Hatake. The Uchiha is arrogant and is on a I must kill my brother to avenge my clan kick. He also a brooding emo that craves power and will be a threat in the near future. Itachi isn't going to be happy how his brother has turned out. Haruno is a total fangirl and it was only pure luck that she wasn't killed in their first mission out of the village. As for Sai, well, I don't trust him. There was something about him that felt off about him though I can't put my finger on it. I just know that I wouldn't have my back towards him, Naruto said. I see, Celine said. Why do you want to know, Auntie? Naruto asked. Well, I got this message from the Hokage, Celine said, picking up a scroll off her desk. He must have used a summon to give him that letter, Naruto said. What letter? Celine asked. Oh, Kakashi was one of the Anbu who used to watch over me when I was in Konoha. In Wave I gave him a letter he would give to the old man, Naruto said. Celine nodded. That explained the letter she got from the Hokage and how he wanted to continue their alliance with each other. She wasn't sure she wanted to since that would mean revealing the village to the world again. Something they did their best not to do for so long. There was also another thing in the letter that she was mulling over. Something that would change her nephew's life quite a bit. Naruto. In the letter the Hokage invited us to participate in the upcoming Chunin exams, Celine said. Naruto his head to the side in confusion. A trait that made girls squeal and then glomp him. Celine thankfully was used to this and didn't have that urge at all. The Chunin exams is where genin can get promoted. Though that isn't the only way. There are also field promotions as well as if the cage thinks a genin meets the criteria to be a Chunin. But the other thing the Chunin exams do is gather all villages to one location really. Each village hosts the Chunin exams and they trade off each year. This year it is held in Konoha, Celine said. Naruto realized what his aunt was getting at. So if I accept then that means I'd be going back to Konoha, he said. Yes, Celine said with a nod. Can I think this over? Naruto asked. Of course Naruto, Celine said with a smile. Naruto nodded and with one last hug he left his aunt's office. Naruto left his aunt's office rubbing his head. He didn't know what to do and needed someone to talk to. Hey Naruto, back from a mission. Naruto looked up and smiled. In front of him was Itachi Uchiha, the supposed murderer of his entire clan, except his brother Sasuke. Itachi, after fleeing from Konoha and being on the run for a while, stumbled upon New Whirlpool. After a lengthy prison stay and several interrogations later, he was deemed to be safe and was offered a position in the New Whirlpool shinobi ranks. Itachi jumped at this and became a Junin for New Whirlpool. Itachi had a clean slate and relished his new life in New Whirlpool. He was now a part of the elite force of Whirlpool, Gale. The Whirlpool equivalent of the Anbu. It was found that Itachi was ordered to murder his entire clan because most of the clan was planning a coup d'etat. Itachi only asked to spare his brother, which was granted. But he was now labeled a missing nin with a bounty. That is till he became a shinobi of New Whirlpool, able to restart the Uchiha clan there with a clean slate. And Itachi did just that during his probation period. He met a nice girl named Tifa and got married and they already had 2 kids. At the moment no one knew if the kids held the Sharingan, but they didn't care and let the kids be kids for now. Yeah, have some time I can tell you all about it. Naruto asked. Sure. I just got off duty, Itachi said with a nod. The two made their way to food stand that Naruto frequented. He and Itachi sat down and ordered, then Naruto told Itachi about his mission and then the side adventure in Wave. Itachi listened to all of this and frowned when he heard Naruto's detailed description of his little brother. Naruto and Itachi had a brother kind of bond with one another. When Itachi finished with his tea he sat back. Naruto had ordered a simple spicy noodle platter for himself and was halfway through it. I see, so Sasuke isn't doing what I hoped, Itachi said sadly. Nope, and from what I could hear from Kakashi it's bad. The council has been catering to practically every whim of Sasuke's, Naruto said. Itachi's frown deepened. I don't know what's going to happen if and when he sees you. He's going to go ballistic, Naruto said. Itachi nodded. Anyway, Auntie got a letter from the Hokage and he's inviting us to the Chunin exams, Naruto said. Those exams are very dangerous, Naruto. Not to be taken lightly, Itachi said seriously. I know, but Auntie's worried what will happen if I go back to Konoha, Naruto said. Itachi nodded. He knew what Naruto had suffered from. He used to guard Naruto too when he was an Anbu for Konoha. Do you know if you're going to go? Itachi asked. Not sure. I want to ask Mika and Ryo what they think. It has to be a team decision, Naruto said. Itachi nodded. He was proud of how much Naruto has grown into a shinobi. So much so that he did think of Naruto as a little brother in some ways. He helped Naruto train when Naruto was younger. The two talked some more, then they parted ways. With Itachi heading home to see his wife and kids. Scene break. Hiruzen sat at his desk ignoring his paperwork. He was happy that Naruto was alive. He was stunned when he got the letter via summons from Kakashi. When he read it, he was relieved, but sad also. Naruto was alive, but he'd never be a leaf shinobi. But now he had other problems to deal with. He had to deal with the council and the upcoming Chunin exams. He sent word to the Uzukage inviting them to the exams. He hoped they'd accept it and that he'd seen Naruto once again. It had been so long since he had seen his grandson. He hadn't heard a word from the Uzukage and that worried him. His train of thought was interrupted by Team 7 entering. Team 7 reporting back from mission to Wave, Kakashi said. Kakashi then went over how the mission went, including the meeting with the new Whirlpool Shinobi and everything that happened after that. Hiruzen was shocked at hearing how capable new Whirlpool's genin were. He didn't think they'd be this good. They weren't that good before and wondered if they upped their training so they wouldn't be as helpless if they were attacked again. Thank you for the report. You will all be paid a rank pay. You're dismissed except for Kakashi, Hiruzen said. Sasuke, Sakura and Sai left. So Kakashi, tell me, what is Naruto like? Hiruzen asked, leaning forward in his chair with great interest. Kakashi thought about this for a bit then nodded. Though I didn't really see him in battle or anything, I can tell he's very skilled. His skill Fuinjutsu is amazing as well as his taijutsu and ninjutsu. Though like I said, I didn't get a good read on his skills during the time I had with him. I can say that he and his teammates are very good and well trained, the one-eyed Junin said. Hiruzen nodded as he puffed on his pipe. Anything else? He asked. Kakashi shook his head. Very well. Dismissed, Hiruzen said. Scene break. Naruto wandered around the village greeting various villagers that he knew. He soon got to a pond that he liked to use as a thinking spot. He sat down and stared into the calming water. He watched the small fish swimming around as his mind wandered and mulled over his dilemma. Something is on your mind for you to be here, Mika said. Naruto looked up and smiled. Mika always seemed to know when something troubling was on his mind. She'd also be there and let him get it off his chest and help him through it as much as she can. Yeah, and he told me some things, Naruto said. Like what? Mika asked, sitting down next to Naruto. Naruto then explained about the Chunin exams and them being in Konoha and that if they wanted they could go. But that would mean going back to Konoha where all the torture was. Mika sat listening with a comforting arm around his shoulders. Once Naruto finished, he felt better. Well, this is a pickle, Mika said. Naruto had to chuckle at this. Mika could lighten any mood. I guess it is. What do you think I should do? He asked. Mika leaned her head on Naruto's shoulder as she hummed a light tune. Naruto waited for Mika to mull over everything. I can't tell you what you should do, Naruto. This has to be a decision that only you can make. But I can give you advice and support for whatever you decide in the end. No matter what you chose, I'll be with you, Mika said at the end. Naruto nodded. I am thinking of saying yes, to go back to Konoha and take the exams. I need to get this behind me before I can truly move on, he said emotionlessly. Mika tightened her grip around Naruto since she knew he had many scars, both physical and emotional, that still needed healing. She wished she could heal them all, but some were so deep that even her expert healing could never cure. Whatever you decide, I'll go, she said softly. You think Ryo would want to go to Konoha? Naruto asked. Maybe. He does know he has a cousin there and he'd probably like to meet her, Mika said. Naruto nodded. They both got up and headed to Ryo's home, the Kasaragi clan compound. They were greeted and found Ryo training. Don't you ever rest? Mika asked with her hands on her hips. Only when I sleep, and even then I go over what I have done and make notes of the mistakes I've made and make sure I don't do them again, Ryo said as he sheathed his katana. Mika sighed and shook her head. Ryo was a serious person even at their age. Though he had lightened up some after being with Naruto and Mika, he was still a stick in the mud sometimes. So what brings you all here? Ryo asked. Naruto explained the situation and Ryo gripped the handle of his katana tightly. He wanted to slay all those that hurt Naruto when he was younger. He then felt Mika's gentle hand on his and he relaxed. So what is it you want to ask? Ryo asked. What do you think we should do? I want this to be a team decision, Naruto said. Ryo nodded and closed his eyes in thought. Mika and Naruto waited for Ryo's answer. I think we should go, he said. Great. Then it's decided. We're going to Konoha, Mika said. Then we better get to training. We're going to need it, Naruto said. Scene break. 2 weeks later, a very well-trained and prepared team was at the gates ready to go. They had all steeled themselves to what was going to come. During their training, they also went to the library to read up on Konoha so they would be prepared for anything. Naruto had some knowledge due to his time there, but it had been so long that he needed a refresher. Plus, he was never really educated, so he needed to learn this as much as Mika and Ryo. You three ready? Hideko asked. The three new Whirlpool genin nodded firmly. Good, let's go, Hideko said. He then led them out of the village to Konoha to compete in the Chunin exams. The team was packed and ready for anything at all. They had several storage scrolls on them to help lighten their load, plus it also meant they could pack more too. They hoped they wouldn't needed it, but you never knew. Scene break. In Konoha, Hiruzen sat at his desk feeling a bit happy. He had gotten word from the Uzushiogakure and they'd be sending Naruto's team to Konoha for the exams. But he was made to promise that no harm would come to Naruto or else there'd be severe consequences. Hiruzen didn't even need to guess what those consequences would be. The Uzumakis were as peaceful as they were fierce. He just hoped no one in the village will muck up it all up. Scene break. The new Whirlpool team arrived at the massive gates of Konoha. So this is your old home? Ryo asked. Yeah, this is it, Naruto said with a nod. Come on, let's get going, Mika said. They walked around the village while Hideko was registering them. Ryo and Mika saw the glares Naruto was getting and didn't like them one bit. It just made them more on guard. What are you doing here, alive demon? A civilian growled. Naruto ignored the civilian and walked around them, only to be stopped by several others. Soon a mob was forming. Mika and Ryo got ready to fight. My team and I are here to compete in the Chunin exams. We were invited by the Hokage himself. I don't know who this demon you speak of, Naruto said calmly. Don't lie to us, demon. We may not have finished what we started before, but we will now, a civilian said. There was roars of approval as the mob made moves to close in around the new Whirlpool team. Mika and Ryo were prepared to fight if needed to. But they didn't need to as there was cry of utter pain. This had everyone turn to the source. A civilian had their arm cut cleanly off. Naruto turned to Ryo, who shook his head. The Kasaragi clan member gestured that he still had his katana in its sheath and hadn't pulled it out at all. This made Naruto frown till he saw who it was. She had blonde hair shoulder length and a very generous bust for a girl her age. Her blue eyes were ice cold and in her hand was a bloody tanto. Samui, I see you're here, he said in greeting. Greetings, Naruto. This scum was going to attack you behind your back and I decided to intervene. I hope you don't mind, Samui said as she kept an eye on the horde of civilians daring them to make a move. Naruto shook his head and soon Anbu appeared. What's going on here? One of them asked. Simple. A civilian was about to attack Naruto, a genin of New Whirlpool as well as the nephew of the Uzushiogakure, Samui said as she flicked her tanto clean of blood then sheathed it. The Anbu turned and they were shocked seeing Naruto in front of them. Well, aren't you going to do something? Arrest them. A civilian shouted. Other civilians screamed the same thing as well. What punishments should be given? Most voted for execution. There's no need. I saw the whole thing and the Kumo Nin was within right though she didn't have to be so brutal, Kakashi said appearing. Kakashi senpai, and Anbu said. You guys can go, as for you civilians. Leave before more accidents happen. Oh, and the one missing the arm should go to the hospital, they still have a chance on sewing that arm back on, Kakashi said. The mob dispersed with the civilian with the missing arm left for the hospital with his arm in tow. The Anbu left seeing that they weren't needed. How are you, Kakashi? Naruto asked. I am fine, Naruto. So here to partake in the Chunin exams. Kakashi asked. I am. Naruto said. Then I wish you good luck, Kakashi said, then disappeared. Naruto turned to Samui, who walked over and pulled Naruto into a deep kiss. Naruto was shocked that Samui was kissing him, that he only began kissing back when Samui pulled away. Both were left breathless. What was that for? Naruto asked dumbly. That was for saving me on our last mission we did, Samui said with light pink cheeks. You're welcome, Naruto said, still a bit stunned. Mika sighed. Naruto was still clueless when it came to girls. He always had girls falling all over him wherever they went and he didn't notice them at all. It seemed that Samui had the right idea though. Kiss Naruto to show you're interested in him. So Samui, is Karui and Omoi here too? Ryo asked. They are, but I should find them. Make sure they aren't causing any trouble, Samui said. We'll join you. Haven't seen those two in a while, Naruto said. Ryo and Mika nodded, also wanting to see the two Kumo nin again too. Kumo and New Whirlpool had an alliance with one another after a mission Naruto and his team were on, and they met Samui's team on the same mission. The two teams worked together to complete the mission, and after that both Uzukage and Raikage came to an alliance between the villages. This was the first alliance New Whirlpool had ever made since rebuilding their village. This also helped patch up any problems that Kumo and the Whirlpool had with each other in the past. The four walked and then came upon an interesting sight. In front of them they saw two shinobi, and one was holding onto a boy by the front of the shirt ready to beat the kid up. There was the pink-haired girl Naruto remembered from Wave, but forgot her name since she wasn't too important. The blonde looked annoyed at the other, which made them guess they were teammates. Looks like Suna Nin, Ryo said as he saw the shinobi's headbands. That weirdo in the kitty suit and makeup is a shinobi? Naruto asked. Yeah, he is, Ryo said with a nod. Suna's standards have fallen if they've started recruiting cross-dressers, Mika said. They watched as Sakura was shrieking at the two Suna nin, then when Sasuke appeared and then an unknown redhead. Naruto sensed the heavy chakra coming from the redhead and frowned. He may not be a sensor like Mika, but the amount of chakra the redhead was giving off was enough for any shinobi to sense sensor or not. Plus it felt familiar to him. He's like me, he thought. Soon the Suna team left and Naruto began to follow them. Naruto, where are you going? Mika asked. I need to check something out. I'll see you back at the hotel, Naruto said. Screw that, we're coming with you, Mika said. Ryo nodded and Samui was in agreement. They followed the Suna team till they got to the hotel, the same hotel all the teams seemed to staying at. They followed till the redhead turned to them. This made the other two Suna shinobi stop and were shocked that they were being followed. Why is mother screaming for your blood? The redhead asked. Naruto stood there and frowned. He could easily tell that the seal keeping whatever demon at bay in this redhead was shitty and needed to be fixed. So your Biju is female? Huh, didn't think of that, Naruto said. The two Suna shinobi looked shocked hearing this. Who are you? The redhead asked with a glare. My name is Naruto. What's your name? Naruto asked. My name is Gaara, the redhead said. And your teammates' names? Naruto asked. They are of no importance, Gaara said. Now that's impolite, Naruto said, then turned to the blonde girl and smiled. My name is Naruto, what's yours? Temari, the blonde girl said. Lovely name, Temari, Naruto said as he took Temari's hand and kissed it. Temari blushed and Samui frowned. Mika sighed as she shook her head. Naruto just had to act so chivalrous sometimes. She knew she shouldn't have introduced those noble shinobi books to him, since this was going to get him into more trouble. And who's the cross-dresser in the kitty suit? Naruto asked. I am man and this is war paint, the cross-dresser shouted. This of course got the attention of everyone in the hotel. They looked at the group of shinobi with odd looks. Shish, use your indoor voice, Naruto said in a whisper. Temari had to crack up at this. First this cute boy named Naruto kissed her hand, called her brother a cross-dresser, and then he tells him to use his indoor voice. She was loving Naruto already. Mika had to smirk with amusement at this since Naruto knew how to be funny when he wanted to be. Ryo had a smile on his lips. Samui also had a small smile on her lips as she watched the scene. My name is Konkuro, the kitty suit wearing boy growled out. Whatever. So Gaara, it appears you can't sleep. I can fix your seal so you can sleep and make sure your Biju doesn't bother you, Naruto said. Why should we trust you? Kankuro asked with great suspicion. Well, I am pretty skilled in Fuinjutsu. I know my stuff, Naruto said casually. This shocked the Suna Nin. This couldn't be right. Naruto was about their age and he knew seals. He had to be joking. Naruto isn't joking. Naruto, myself and Ryo all know Fuinjutsu. In our village we learn Fuinjutsu before we even learn how to walk really, Mika said. The Suna Nin were still hesitant. Look, think about it. We're here for the Chunin exams. If you want help with that seal then come see us. By the way, my name is Ryo, Ryo said. My name is Mika, Mika said. I'm Samui, Samui said as she eyed Temari for a moment longer like she was sizing up her next opponent. After that the new Whirlpool Nin left along with Samui to find her two teammates. This left the Suna Nin unsure what to do or say. Gaara stared at the back of Naruto's head. In his mind it seemed that his mother was talking to him, but not in a bloodthirsty way. Temari watched Naruto walk away and smiled. There were definitely some cute boys here in Konoha for the exams. But Naruto topped them all it seemed. She wanted to get to know him better. Kankuro grumbled about people that can't tell the difference between makeup and war paint and what was the problem with the way he dressed. Scene break. Samui finally found Omoi and Karui. They were bickering as usual. Well, here's a familiar sight, Naruto said. Yeah, very familiar it seems, Mika said. Samui just sighed. Karui, Omoi stop fighting, she ordered. Samui, where have you been? We've been looking for you. Karui asked. Not very hard if I am the one finding you instead of the other way around, Samui said. It's all his fault, Karui said like a child pointing at Omoi. Samui sighed as she massaged her temples. Hey guys, Naruto greeted. You, Karui shouted as she saw Ryo. During that mission that Kumo and New Whirlpool worked together on, Karui and Ryo had what was supposed to be a simple spar, but turned into more when Ryo beat Karui and Karui vowed to have a rematch and beat Ryo. Hello Karui, Omoi, Ryo nodded. Mika smiled and waved at the two Kumo Nin. Omoi waved right back with a lollipop in his mouth. This time I'll beat you, I'll win this time, Karui crowed as she pointed at Ryo. Ryo sighed. But if you beat him then that could cause friction between our villages and then we'd go to war and the Raikage and Uzukage would be fighting to the death and, Omoi said. Shut up Omoi, Karui shouted as she bonked Omoi on the head hard enough for him to make him sit on the floor. Samui again rubbed her temples and wondered why she was paired with these two. She then felt Naruto's hand on her shoulders massaging them gently. You shouldn't get too stressed before the exams Samui, it won't help you at all, Naruto said. Samui looked into Naruto's eyes and she wanted to kiss him again, but held back this time. They met the team's sensei, which was Darui. Where's B? Naruto asked. He's on a mission for a while, but should be here for the finals or so I am told, Darui said. Oh, well I am Naruto, and this is Mika and that's Ryo, Naruto said. It's nice to meet you Naruto. I've heard a lot about you from this team as well as B2, Darui said. They all chatted for a while then turned in for the night. Scene break. That night Naruto walked to the roof of the hotel. He found Gaara sitting there overlooking the area. Have you given any more thought to what I asked? Naruto asked knowing Gaara could sense him. I have Uzumaki, Gaara said without looking back. And your decision is? Naruto asked. Fix my seal, Gaara said turning to Naruto for the first time. Right, I just need to get. Naruto turned to find Ryo and Mika standing behind him. He sighed and should have known that those two wouldn't let him stray too far away while in this village. So he led Gaara back to his room with Mika and Ryo in tow. Once in the room they prepared everything. It was quite simple. First they placed chakra suppressing seals on the walls so the village and the rest of the hotel can't feel the fluxes in chakra while they work. After that was done the three looked at Gaara's seal. What a shoddy job. It's like they wanted him to be insane, Mika said shaking her head. Yes, and there's this here. It appears a spirit of some kind is attached. That can be removed though, Ryo said. Yeah, plus we can figure out a way to make sure Gaara can still use his sand like he could before, Naruto said. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get to work, Mika said. The three put their heads together and began working on the new seal. With 3 Fuinjutsu users they were able to come up with something. They had Gaara lie in the middle of the floor in the middle of a ritual circle they made with his shirt off. They began to work. Now Mika, when we remove the seal on Gaara, Shukaku will try to escape. Make sure you got the temporary containment seal ready, Ryo said. I got it, Mika said with a nod. The seal was removed and Mika contained Shukaku before the Biju could even try and run or wreak havoc. Thankfully the containment seal was also soundproof so they could work in peace. Naruto and Ryo worked quickly and diligently in drawing the new seal and removed the crazy monk spirit as well. Once done they turned to Mika for her part. She then helped re-seal Shukaku into Gaara. Gaara's body shuddered then stopped. The 3 held their breath and Mika checked Gaara's vitals. He's alive, just sleeping, she said. They all sighed a breath of relief. There was handshakes and smiles all around as the job was done. It took a lot out of them since it was a lot of chakra they expelled during the process, but as Uzumakis are related to Uzumakis it meant they had huge chakra reserves since that was a hallmark of an Uzumaki along with longevity. They then carried Gaara back to his room. They knocked on the door till Temari opened the door. She looked grumpy. What do yo? She then saw Gaara. What did you do to him? She hissed as panic overwhelmed her. We fixed his seal. He'll no longer be crazy and have Shukaku whispering things in his head. He can be able to sleep, Naruto said. Ryo and Mika helped Gaara to bed and tucked him in. Temari turned to Naruto. Why did you do that? Help him? She asked with suspicion in her voice. Naruto turned to Temari and she got the full blast of those beautiful blue eyes. She forgot to breath. To help your family heal. I've learned that family is a very precious thing and shouldn't be wasted. So I've given you back your family. Now it's up to you to keep it together. You can finally show your brother the love you have for him without being scared, he said. Mika and Ryo left. Temari sighed and walked over to where Gaara was sleeping and caressed his red hair. I love you brother. Welcome home, she whispered. She went to bed and Gaara had a smile on his face. Scene break. The rest of the week before the Chunin exams were to begin was a whirlwind. The next day Naruto was asked to go to the Hokage's office. Well, he wasn't going to go alone. So Hideko and his teammates went with him. Hey old man, Naruto greeted. Naruto, it's so great to see you again after so long, Hiruzen said smiling. Yeah, it's been a while old man, Naruto said. So the two chatted and caught up with each other like a grandson talking to his grandfather. They parted happily. Hiruzen was glad Naruto had such a good life though sad that it wasn't Konoha that was providing it. He knew this village would be kicking themselves for pushing away the most talented shinobi ever if what everything Naruto has told was true, which he had no trouble believing. What also happened was Gaara after waking up told Naruto about the invasion that Suna and a new village called Sound was preparing. Kankuro didn't want to tell, but Temari agreed with Gaara that they owed Naruto. Gaara also needed some help. He was lost in his new world he was in. He wasn't used to Temari hugging him and being affectionate towards him in a sisterly way. So what is it you want to talk about? Naruto asked. Gaara and him were up on the rooftop. Temari and her hugs. Gaara said. What? Is something wrong with them? Naruto asked now sitting beside Gaara. No. They just feel funny. I feel funny when she hugs me. She squishes me and I like it. Her warmth. I can feel her warmth all over me even after she breaks the hug, Gaara said frowning since this was all perplexing to him. And your problem is? Naruto asked. I don't know what to do. What this feeling is I'm feeling, Gaara said frowning. You're feeling love Gaara. The love your sister is showing you is a unique kind of love. A sibling love. It's the same thing I have with Mika. All you need to do is enjoy it and even hug back if you want. She'll understand if you don't, Naruto said. Gaara nodded though he was still confused. He had to figure out how to use his sand again and it wasn't that hard. The new seal made sure he could call upon his sand-like second nature like he had before. After getting the info about the invasion Naruto told Hiruzen and the old Hokage began to plan. With permission Naruto sent a letter to his aunt letting her know too. Also during that time Naruto returned to an old spot. Ichiraku's. Naruto sighed. Why are we here Naruto? Mika asked. They have the best ramen ever Mika, Naruto said. Ramen isn't very good for you Naruto, Mika said. It was the only thing I could eat that wasn't overpriced or already spoiled, Naruto said. Mika frowned at hearing Naruto's old life. Hello, welcome to Ikra. Naruto was then suddenly grabbed into a tight hug, squeezing the life out of him. Naruto, you're back. The young woman screamed. Mika and Ryo were about to attack, but saw that this girl wasn't threat. Well, if getting hugged to death was considered a threat. Can't breathe, Naruto wheezed out as he was tapping the girl's arm, hoping to get her to let go. She finally did, and Naruto's blue face slowly turned back to its normal shade. I'm so happy to see you back, Naruto, the girl said happily. You too, but you cannot squeeze me to death next time, Naruto said. The girl blushed with embarrassment. Excuse me, miss, but how do you know Naruto? Ryo asked. Oh, my name is Ayame. My father and I run this ramen stand. Naruto was our best costumer. He also still holds the record of most ramen eaten, the girl named Ayame said. She then revealed a plaque to show off the accomplishment. There was a picture of a very young Naruto with the Hokage, a man Mika and Ryo assumed was the chef, and a young Ayame. They were all smiling happily in the photo. I gotta tell Dad, he'll be so happy to see you again, Ayame said as she went into the back. Naruto, you're not going to eat as much ramen as you did when you won that award, Mika said sternly. But Mika, Naruto whined. No, Naruto, it took me a long time to break you out of that ramen addiction and get you on a healthy diet, and I'm not going to let that go to waste, Mika said firmly. Naruto pouted. There was a joyous reunion when Tyuki, the owner of the ramen stand, saw Naruto. Naruto regaled them in his life in New Whirlpool as he ate a bowl of ramen. Mika limited him to 3 bowls. She and Ryo each had 1. As they talked, Ryo began to think. He along with his clan were mostly shinobi, but he had an older brother who worked in the business district. Basically his brother owned a small part of it. Ryo knew his brother was looking for new tenants. Excuse me, Tyuki, have you ever thought of closing up shop here and moving? Ryo asked. Why do you ask? Tyuki asked. Because I think New Whirlpool would be a nice fit. The village has no ramen stand at all and you'd make some good money there, Ryo said. Huh, let me think about that, kid, Tyuki said, rubbing his chin. Ryo nodded, then continued to eat. After finishing the ramen and promising to come back, they left. The rest of the time before the exams, the New Whirlpool team hung out with Samui's team as well as Gaara's team. Naruto and his team along with Samui's team and Gaara's team all looked at the site of the start of the Chunin exams. It was the Konoha Ninja Academy building. They entered and walked up the stairs. They saw the genjutsu, but said nothing and kept going up the stairs. Ignoring the gathering crowd of genin trying to enter the fake entrance to the Chunin exams. They reached the real entrance and entered. They saw a sea of heads turn and a combine amount of ki aimed right at them. They all shrugged it off and went to find a place to sit. Kankuro took a chair, as did Omoi and Karui. Samui stood with her arms folded. Temari was sitting, leaning against Kankuro's desk. Gaara stood there emotionless as ever. Ryo took to leaning against the wall so he could look at the entire room. Mika sat down and Naruto sat on Mika's desk. Big turnout, Mika commented as she surveyed the crowd. Yes, this is going to be very interesting, Ryo said as he scanned the room looking at what genin could be a challenge. Whatever, I'm going to kick your, Karui said, directing this mainly at Ryo. Everyone sighed since they were used to hearing this proclamation from Karui several times. Gaara's team along with NW, New Whirlpool, team and Samui's team had hung out together since before the Chunin exams began. It was a good way to meet and understand other shinobi from other villages. Of course, without giving away their own village's secrets. Soon their attention turned to the commotion at the door. They watched what looked to be fresh genin all together. They then noticed the headbands and saw they were all Konoha shinobi. They could tell these genin were rookies since they didn't have the hardened look all of the seasoned genin that were in the room had. They're not serious about having all those rookies in the exams, are they? Temari asked with a bit of disbelief laced in her voice. Hey, they all look weak, Kankuro said in a fashion. And the cross-dresser in the kitty suit is considered a strong look? Mika asked with a raised eyebrow. Kankuro growled at this while everyone chuckled, though Gaara gave a small smile. He was still getting used to having emotions that weren't violent, angry, or sadistic of any sort. All those genin are from clans in Konoha. They want to show off their strongest since they are hosting this year, Ryo said as he looked at the group of Konoha shinobi. I suppose, but what could they know just months out of the academy? Naruto asked. Like we didn't know as much as them when we started out. Mika asked. But we did know more. We learned a heck of a lot more than them. Plus, according to what Kakashi told me, the D-rank missions they go on as shinobi we do while in the academy, Naruto said. Mika just nodded. It was true. The new Whirlpool Academy standards were harder and more grueling compared to Konoha's. Konoha's was quite lax. The academy in NW taught their students tree climbing and water walking, taijutsu, genjutsu, ninjutsu, and other shinobi skills. There was very little what could be called class work involved. Though they did study history and battle tactics, they knew that if they didn't learn about the past, then they were doomed to repeat it, and learning battle tactics would save your life out in the field. That's what the teachers drilled into the students. But they didn't put as much emphasis on history and class lessons like Konoha did. Most of it was training of some kind to produce strong shinobi and kunoichi. There are two fangirls in the bunch, Samui said, eyeing a pink-haired girl and long-haired blonde shouting at one another. Those things, crap, they should be purged, Karui said. That I agree on. They are nothing but waste. Thankfully New Whirlpool has made sure none have sprouted up, Ryo said. The rest agreed that fangirls were just a waste and gave hard-working kunoichi a bad name. The 9 watched as a glasses-wearing genin was showing cards. Ryo used a Kage Bushin and hanged it to be a mouse to sneak in and listen. Now how did Ryo learn Kage Bushin? Well, all New Whirlpool shinobi know Kage Bushin. Since everyone in the village had such huge chakra reserves, that means creating a normal Bushin is out of the question. That's why they knew Kage Bushin, plus it helped when doing projects and menial stuff. Celine Uzumaki never had to waste time doing paperwork with a Kage Bushin doing it for her. After a while Ryo blinked and nodded. It appears that boy named Kabuto has shinobi cards that displays info about the other shinobi here. But the problem is he seems to have info that not a normal genin could ever get their hands on, Ryo said. So there's something we should be worried about, Naruto said. Yes, he's not all what he appears, Ryo said. Don't all shinobi have that kind of description? Mika asked. Soon the first part of the exam began. A big man walked in with chunins and junins. The man explained the rules of the test to them all. Basically it is a test with 10 questions. You all have 10 points. You lose points if you miss a question or give an incorrect answer. If you're caught cheating, you and your team are booted out. And if one of your teammates loses all their points, your whole team is booted out. In the end your team is bond together, succeed together, fail together. Naruto from his seat eyed Mika and Ryo. They nodded. They knew what the test was really about. As the test went on, the man whose name was Ibiki watched everyone. His eyes were on one team. The one from New Whirlpool. He watched as they made short brief hand signs to one another. He was impressed they developed such a sophisticated system to communicate with each other. The gestures they used to communicate with each other were subtle and not out of the ordinary at all. So unless you're a trained shinobi you wouldn't even notice it at all. But even if you did notice it, you'd never know what they are saying since you didn't know the code within the signals. This team shows much promise, Ibiki thought. After 45 minutes time was up. Ibiki then crank up the heat with the 10th and final question as well as changing the rules. They could choose not to answer and leave the room and try again next year. But if they decided to try and fail in giving the correct answer, then they were banned from the Chunin exams forever. Shock rippled throughout the room, but Ibiki saw the NW team was unfazed by this. What? You can't do that. A boy with a puppy on his head shouted. I think I just did, Ibiki said with a sadistic smirk. But there are others here who've taken the exams before, Sakura argued. Well, I am in charge of the exams this year. My test, my rules, Ibiki said with a hard edge in his voice. There were some teams that cracked and left since they didn't want to fail at the 10th question. Ibiki though saw that the team from New Whirlpool didn't even bat an eyelash at all as he applied the pressure. He decided to make an example with the blonde one. You maggot, aren't you scared that you'll never be a Chunin if you fail at answering the final question? Ibiki asked Naruto. Naruto looked up. No sir, since I know that my aunt would never agree to those terms. And even if she did, then there's always a field promotion, Naruto said. Ibiki knew he couldn't break Naruto. He then looked around and saw a good number had cleared out. But not as many as he'd hoped for. Soon he decided to end the ruse. He passed them. All the genin left were shocked except Naruto's team. Ibiki then explained about the true meaning of the test. It was to see how your information gathering skills were and then to see if you could handle the pressure of a mission, especially a mission in enemy territory. With the 10th and final question was all about choice. To stay and move on or wimp out. He told them that there's be a time where they be asked to do a mission that would extremely dangerous and you'd have the decision to take it or not. The ones that stayed decided to take on the mission. The tension was broken when a window broke open and a black ball flew in. Soon a banner appeared. The single Anko Midarashi, second proctor. Anko, if that was the woman's real name, was dressed in a beige trench coat left open, a mesh shirt, orange skirt and boots. In her mouth was a dango stick. She really didn't leave much to the imagination. Many of the guys in the room had severe nosebleeds while the girls looked at Anko with disgust or envy for the size of Anko's chest and toned body. Alright brats, no time to celebrate. I'm here and that means the true hell begins. She proclaimed. You're early again, Anko, Ibiki said after he slipped from behind the banner that had covered him. Anko's sweat dropped, then saw the number of genin in the room. What the hell, Ibiki? You left this many. You've gone soft in your old age, she said. Or maybe there's a stronger crop this year, Ibiki countered. Whatever. By the time I am done the number will be knocked in half. Anko said, meet me at training ground 44 and if you're not there in an hour you're disqualified. Then she jumped a second window, break more glass. The genin left and Ibiki looked at the mess. I'm not cleaning this up nor paying for the windows, he grumbled. Scene break. Naruto's team along with Gaara's and Samui's made their way to training ground 44 after finding out where it was from their senseis. Once there they waited for the rest to show up. When all the teams showed up, Anko began her presentation. Alright maggots, behind me is training ground 44 or what we Konoha nin call the Forest of Death. Anko said. The added effect of wild animals screaming and roaring added to it in dramatic fashion. This what you need to do. This is a 5-day survival test. You will enter a gate that has been assigned to you with one scroll, either a heaven or earth one. Anko said, holding out both scrolls. What you need to do is find another team and take their scroll, not knowing if they are holding the other scroll you so desperately need. When you get both scrolls you go to the tower located in the center of the forest. Don't open them at all. There was gulps of fear within the group of genin. Anko grinned at the fear she was inspiring. What happens if we do? A random genin asked. Anko just grinned in a sadistic fashion that scared the genin, letting them know that bad things would happen if they opened the scrolls. Though Naruto looked bored, Anko didn't like being ignored. She hurled a kunai at Naruto. But Naruto sensed this and used a kawarimi to get away. When Anko appeared behind Naruto he wasn't there, so she was actually hugging a very confused and perplexed Gaara. Hey, what the? Anko asked, seeing she wasn't at her target. Getting cuddly with Asuna nin. I thought there was no favoritism in the exams, Naruto said, clucking his tongue. He was with Temari and Kankuro, though closer to Temari. He even winked at her. This made Temari blush. Hey, quick moves brat. But can you slip out of everything you get into? Anko asked. Depends on what situation it is, Proctor, Naruto said. A grass nin snuck up on Anko and handed her back her kunai. She took it and returned up front, and Gaara and Naruto returned to their respective teams. Why'd you do that to Gaara? Mika asked Naruto after he returned to her and Ryo. Well, I didn't want to get cut, and I thought Gaara should get some experience in different kinds of hugs. I am sure he enjoyed it very much, Naruto said. I think he's still confused, but Kankuro looks quite jealous, Ryo said. If he didn't wear makeup and that kitty suit then I might have switched with him, but Gaara was in more need of it, Naruto said. Gaara had red cheeks as he tried to figure out how Anko's hug was different from Temari's and how they were similar. Kankuro was grumbling about how lucky Gaara was, and Temari looked like she wanted to whack Kankuro with her fan for being perverted. Soon their attention returned up front. Oh, before we begin the test you all need to sign these, Anko said, holding up a piece of paper. What is that? A random genin asked. Oh, just a waiver stating that if you die in the forest Konoha isn't held responsible, Anko said casually, though with a sadistic smile on her face. More gulps were heard at this. Naruto, Mika and Ryo signed their forms and they got their scroll. They talked to Gaara's and Samui's team and made a temporary alliance in the forest. Soon they found their gate and awaited the signal. The second test begins, now. Scene break. Naruto, Mika and Ryo raced through the woods. They finally stopped and looked to each other for a plan. Well, Ryo, this is your territory, what do you think we should do? Naruto asked. Ryo thought for a moment. We've already got a target painted on our back from the stunt before. So it's not going to be long for team to come after us. So we should sit and wait for now, he said. Right, Mika, let us know if we've got any incoming, Naruto said. Mika nodded. It didn't take too long and a team from Waterfall came in. They attacked, but Naruto, Mika and Ryo took them out easily. They tied them up and took their scroll. Huh, on the first try. I wasn't expecting that, Naruto said as he handed Mika the Earth Scroll. They had started with a Heaven Scroll. It can happen, but I think we can chalk this up to your uncanny ability to have good luck, Naruto, Mika said. I guess, Naruto said with a shrug. Come on, let's head to the tower, Ryo said. They took off when they felt a wave of chakra. They stopped. You feel that? Ryo asked. Yeah, that was some of the foulest chakra I've ever felt, Mika said. I don't like it. No genin whatsoever should or can have that much chakra and be it that foul, Naruto said. What about you? Mika asked. I and 8 others are the abnormalities, Naruto said. Let's check it out, but we should be careful, Ryo said. They all agreed. Scene break. It took a while to find the source since it soon turned dark and then they had to fight a few other teams as well. But they finally found the source. What they found was the pink-haired girl from Wave. She was fighting, well, trying to fight off a genin team by herself. They weren't sure where her team was, but knew this was serious. Before they could leap in to help, a boy in green spandex appeared. Those can't be real, can they? Naruto asked as he saw the size of the eyebrows the boy had. I haven't a clue, Mika said, shocked. He doesn't leave much to the imagination, Ryo commented about the boy's green spandex. They watched the fight till more Konoha genin appeared. They decided to jump in and help out. Troublesome, what are you doing here? A lazy pineapple-shaped haired boy asked. Easy, we're not here to attack you, Ryo said. Mika then stiffened. Naruto saw this. Mika, he asked. That foul chakra is active, Mika said. Soon Sasuke Uchiha emerged covered in a dark aura. His Sharingan was activated since it was triggered when he received his mark. This power, it feels so great. I must test it, he said in a crazed tone. He then rushed in and grabbed one of the foreign nin and pulled both arms out the guy's sockets. Before he could do more, Naruto stepped in. Stop that, he said. You will be my next test, Sasuke said in a power-crazed voice. He then charged in. Naruto dodged Sasuke's attacks. He saw Ryo ready to jump in. Stay out of this, Ryo, I got it, he called. Ryo nodded as he sheathed his katana, but kept his hand on it just in case. All the Konoha genin watched as Naruto dodged all of Sasuke's attacks with ease. It was amazing since Sasuke was going in almost Chunin speeds and Naruto was easily keeping up. Up in a tree, 2 figures watched. Mika, bring on the lightning, Naruto called. Mika nodded as she pulled something out of her pouch. She wrapped it with a kunai and threw it. As soon as it got close to Sasuke, he tried to dodge it, but that's when something happened. A bright light illuminated the entire area. It blinded everyone momentarily. When everyone was able to see, they saw Sasuke on the ground in pain, clutching his eyes. Naruto, Mika and Ryo were fine as they shielded themselves before the flash. What was that? A round boy asked as he kept blinking to get his sight back. A flash tag. We had to do something, Naruto said. Mika walked over and hit Sasuke in the neck at a pressure point to knock him out. She then saw something else that made her worry. It was a mark on the base of Sasuke's neck. That was where the foul chakra was coming from. She stood up and turned to the pink-haired girl. Who did this? She asked. Why should we tell you? The pink-haired girl asked. Again, who did this? Mika asked, pointing to Sasuke's neck. It was Orochimaru. He came at us and attacked us, a boy with black hair and a fake smile said. Sigh. The pink-haired girl screamed. Mika ignored the scream and looked up at the trees in a certain direction. You can come down now, she said. The two figures jumped down. They were a boy and a girl. Ryo got a good look at the girl and nodded. He walked over. Are you Tenten? He asked. I am. Who are you? The girl named Tenten asked. My name is Ryo Kasaragi. I am your cousin, Ryo said. Tenten looked shocked. Cousin? She asked. Yes, you are Tenten Kasaragi, of the Kasaragi clan. Your mother was a member of the clan and a fierce kunoichi, and it seems she has passed those talents on to her daughter, Ryo said. Tenten, grab Lee and let's go, the boy ordered. Hold your tongue, Hyuga. This is clan business, Ryo said, glaring at the Hyuga. The Hyuga glared at Ryo, but then huffed and went to drag his teammate away. I have a proposition for you. Would you care to rejoin our clan? Ryo asked. Rejoin? Tenten asked. Your mother left when she married your father. We are asking you to come back, Ryo said. But my father, Tenten said. He can come too. If he wants, he can open up his shop in New Whirlpool. The Kasaragi clan will endorse it, Ryo said. Tenten was unsure of what to do. She wanted to, since she'd learn about her clan, since she never thought she was a part of one. But she was a Konoha nin and had a loyalty to the village. You don't need to decide now. Here, takes this, Ryo said as he pulled out a scroll out and handed it to Tenten. What's this? Tenten asked. Just some history about our clan and about your mother, Ryo said. Tenten smiled and thanked Ryo, then left with her team. She didn't know too much about her mother, only what her dad had told her. This would give her a better picture of her mother. Ryo walked back to his team. So she's your cousin? Naruto asked. Ryo nodded. She's cute, Naruto commented. Ryo looked up shocked and was about to say something. Take it easy, Ryo. Just commenting on her appearance, that's all. No need to get protective, Naruto said. Ryo just nodded. Now, where's your scroll? Naruto asked the foreign genin team. Why should we tell you? The mummy-looking one asked. Well, if you haven't noticed, you're outnumbered and your team is injured. You don't have many options, Naruto said. The mummy-looking genin tossed out his scroll. Here, take it. He then left with the rest of his team. Naruto picked up the scroll and tossed it to the pink-haired girl. Here, take it. We've already got ours, he said. Why should we? The pink-haired girl asked. Look, I just told you. You really need to listen. Come on, let's go, Naruto said, then led his team out. This left the rest of the Konoha genin wondering who Naruto really was. Scene break. Naruto's team got to the tower and went inside. They saw the inscription on the wall. What does that mean? Naruto asked. Let's open the scrolls, Mika suggested. They had no better options and did so. They figured out it was a summoning scroll pretty quick, and soon Hideko appeared with a smile. Congrats, you guys, though I was expecting you sooner, he said. Got a bit sidetracked, Naruto said. Oh, Hideko said. Yeah, need to talk to the old man, it's serious, Naruto said sternly. Hideko just nodded, though he was unsure if he could take them up to see the Hokage. I can take them if you'd like. Hideko turned to find an Anbu wearing a cat mask. Neko. Naruto shouted happily. Hello, Naruto. It's nice to see you again, Neko said, smiling behind her mask. Naruto knew Neko since she was one of the other few Anbu along with Kakashi who watched over him when he was a kid. Neko then led them to the Hokage's temporary office in the Forest of Death. Ah, Naruto, you and your team made it. I am glad, Hiruzen said with a smile. Yeah, old man, but we've got problems, Naruto said. Oh, Hiruzen asked curiously. Yeah, Orochimaru placed a strange seal on the Uchiha. It leaks of foul chakra. It needs to be taken care of right away, Mika said. Hiruzen looked grave then sighed. Jiraiya isn't in the village and he's the only seal master we have, he said. You got us, old man. Mika, Ryo and I can take care of it, and Hideko can help us too, Naruto said. Can you handle something like this? Hiruzen asked seriously. Lord Hokage, we're experts when it comes to Fuinjutsu. We can do it with the guidance of our sensei, Ryo said firmly. Mika nodded. Hiruzen sighed and looked at Hideko. If my team says they can do it, he said. Hiruzen nodded. Scene break. When Team 7 arrived to the tower, Sasuke was brought in and placed in the infirmary. Kakashi was there as well as Hiruzen. They watched as the NW team worked diligently. They caught snippets of their talk, but didn't understand a thing since this was way above their heads when it came to Fuinjutsu. Soon the NW team found a way. They had the Uchiha placed in a circle they drew on the floor and then began working. It took a lot of effort and power, but they did it. A tremble and shake out of Sasuke was all they saw. When it was finished, Mika checked the Uchiha's pulse. He's fine, she said. Yeah, the seal is on and stable, Naruto said. What exactly did you do? Kakashi asked. Well, we first thought we could remove it, but we didn't know enough about the seal to do that. The fear of setting off any fail-safes were too great. So we instead created a new seal over it. One of the first lessons in Fuinjutsu is never mess with a seal you're unfamiliar with, Hideko said. The new Whirlpool team nodded at this. What kind of seal? Hiruzen asked. It's a very sophisticated containment seal. We created it from scratch using most of Naruto's ideas, Ryo said. Kakashi and Hiruzen looked at Naruto. In New Whirlpool, Naruto is known a prodigy in Fuinjutsu. He's created many new seals as well as made old seals better and stronger, Mika said. Naruto rubbed the back of his head in embarrassment. Anyway, the seal uses a small amount of his own chakra to sustain itself. Not to mention we placed several of traps on the seal just in case there's tampering. Or someone tries to remove the seal, Hideko said. We also found a component of the seal that leaks into the Uchiha's psyche. We've tried to cut it off, but not sure if we were successful. So you must be careful what you teach him since it might set him off in some way. He's already on this path of Avenger wanting to kill his brother, and any jutsu that would help him could be the spark, Mika said. She was the most informed on human anatomy as well as psychology. Being a medic nin, she needed to be well versed in both areas. Hiruzen knew this by reading her file along with the rest of the NW team file. Kakashi just went with it since it seemed Hiruzen trusted them. Very well, thank you for all your help, Hiruzen said. Hideko's team bowed then left. Scene break. Soon the 5 days were up. All the teams that had made it through were standing awaiting for what was to come. Naruto and his team saw that all the fresh Konoha teams were there. Naruto was happy to see Samui's team as well as Gaara's team. Soon the Hokage stood and made a speech about how the Chunin exams were put in place to end the constant wars the villages had with each other. He then went on saying that since there was so many there that there's needed to be a prelims. What? Why? A genin asked. Like I said, there are too many contestants here. The finals will have many dignitaries here from all over. We can't monopolize their time, Hiruzen said. So we'll be having a preliminary to whittle your numbers down. Now, a long-haired blonde asked. Yes, Hiruzen said. Before the prelims could begin, a shinobi appeared. Excuse me, Lord Hokage. Cough cough. But I believe it's my turn to take. Cough cough. Over the exam, the shinobi said. Mika frowned. Someone really needs to take a look at that, she said. They found out that their matches would be set up by random due to an electronic board that appeared out of a wall. Also, a last call was made for those who wanted to drop out. Only one did so. The first match was the Uchiha and another Konoha nin. Everyone else moved to the balcony to watch. The match went on and the Uchiha won by using a move that looked similar to something. That looks quite familiar. I think his Sharingan copied someone performing a move from the Goken style, Hideko said. Two green spandex wearing shinobi looked on. One was unhappy, muttering about how unyouthful it was, while the other frowned that his move was copied. He didn't know that Sasuke spied on him as he trained one day before the 5 days were up. The matches went on and some were interesting and others boring. The fight between the pink-haired girl and the long-haired blonde was just pathetic. They were total disgraces to all kunoichis. Next was a match between Tenten and Temari. Ryo caught Temari as she was going down. If you beat her, don't be cruel. She's my cousin, he said. Temari nodded. The match went quick. Temari blew away all of Tenten's projectiles, and even when Tenten threw out her ultimate technique, she was beaten. Temari knocked Tenten out with a wind jutsu. Tenten was hit hard and her back hit the wall hard, making her lose her breath and consciousness, but no permanent damage done. The proctor called the match and Temari won. She came back up and Ryo thanked her for not hurting Tenten too badly. The next match was Ryo and Karui. Karui was excited about this. Alright, It's time to beat his. Karui shouted. It's not cool to be overconfident, Karui, Samui said. Whatever. I got this one, Karui said with a confident smirk. Soon both were down on the area. The proctor started the match and Ryo and Karui looked at each other. So, how do you want to start this? Ryo asked. Karui pulled out her sword and Ryo sighed as he pulled out his own katana. In a burst of speed they clashed. Their blades clanged metal upon metal. That sound echoed throughout the room as they fought. Up on the balcony the Junin were shocked at seeing the speed and intensity Ryo and Karui were fighting at. A bearded Junin jaw dropped, letting the cigarette he had in his mouth fall to the floor. A red-eyed Junin leaned forward to watch the spectacle. Kakashi had closed his book and watched the fight with much interest. The genin were just as surprised and shocked at the fight. The round boy had dropped his bag of chips. The lazy boy was now wide awake and hoping he didn't face either one since they'd be too troublesome. The fangirls were in total shock at what they were seeing. The Uchiha was trying to copy what he was seeing with his Sharingan, but getting nothing of value, which frustrated him immensely. They were going faster than his Sharingan could copy. And since he didn't know any Kenjutsu, this was useless to him anyway. The only two teams not surprised were the NW team and the Kumo team except for their temporary sensei, Darui. He was shocked at how fast Ryo and Karui was going. Even the Suna team was surprised seeing this. Konkuro muttered that they were nuts. Gaara watched with an impassive face and Temari knew she had to up her game if she faced either Karui or Ryo in the next round. The proctor was surprised to see such a Kenjutsu match. It warmed his heart to see that these two genin were so skilled in sword play. Soon the Kenjutsu match ended and Karui and Ryo jumped away breathing hard slightly. You've gotten better, Ryo commented. You bet I did. I trained long and hard so I can beat you, Karui said. She then performed so hand signs and fired of a lightning jutsu. Ryo stuck his sword out catching the lightning jutsu and the jutsu went to his sword through him and shot out of his two fingers out on the other side harmlessly. Everyone on the balcony was shocked seeing such a display. What? How could he do that? The pink-haired girl asked loudly. Simple. Ryo used his sword like a lightning rod. He pulled the jutsu in and as it passed through his body he controlled himself and the jutsu so it would flow out of his fingers and out of him without harm, Mika said. But how? The long-haired blonde asked in a more tolerable tone. Ryo has worked on this technique for a long time. He was saving it for when he fights lightning jutsu users. He can handle most lightning jutsu, but the stronger they are then they will affect him. The one Karui used wasn't very strong at all so Ryo is fine, Naruto said. That is an amazing technique he used and would be quite useful, Kakashi commented. The Uchiha didn't look happy that he couldn't copy this. The fight below continued and finally Ryo knocked Karui with the butt of his katana. He caught her before she fell. The proctor called the match and Ryo carried Karui up to be tended by Mika. The next match came up and it was Naruto facing a boy named Kiba Inuzuka. Yahoo! This match will be a piece of cake, the Inuzuka crowed. I'd be careful Kiba, we've seen what one of his teammates can do so it's best not to underestimate him, the red-eyed Junin cautioned to her student. Come on Kurenai-sensei, I'll show him who's the alpha dog, Kiba boasted. Are you through talking or should we place out tea and cakes for you to continue gabbing? Naruto asked already on down in the arena. Kiba was pissed and leapt down with his partner Akamaru. Stay out of this Akamaru. I can handle him all by myself, Kiba said. Kurenai sighed as she placed her hand on her face. She warned him not to underestimate Naruto, but it looked like it went into one ear and out the other. Well Inuzuka, if you think you can take me, then take me. Unless you're all talk, which right now you seem to be, Naruto said calmly. Kiba raced forward angry and started throwing punches and claws at Naruto. Naruto would easily sidestep each move. This increased Kiba's frantic attacks until Naruto dodged out of the way and used a shushin. What Kiba didn't see nor any of the genin though the Junin spotted it as well as Naruto's teammates and sensei. Naruto dropped a seal on the ground. It exploded and Kiba went flying back. He hit the wall and his ears are ringing. Kiba! Kurenai shouted. Kiba's head was ringing. He couldn't hear a thing. His vision was blurry. All he could hear was a ringing sound. He looked up and was a bit disoriented. He got up swaying. He tried to call Akamaru, but he couldn't even his own voice or his partner's. When his vision came back, he saw Akamaru being pinned by a tiger cub the size of a lynx cat. Akamaru! Kiba shouted. He could now hear, but he didn't realize that as he was focused on his partner. Oh him, he was going to interfere after you told him to stay out of the fight. So I just summoned one of the tiger cubs to keep the puppy out of the fight, Naruto said. Kiba turned to Naruto and he saw red. He charged at Naruto. Naruto dodged the strike, then grabbed Kiba's wrist and pulled it behind Kiba's back. Kiba winced in pain, then tried to throw an elbow with his other arm. Naruto caught that and pulled that arm back. He then slammed Kiba to the ground and pinned both Kiba's arms with his knee as he pulled out a kunai. He wrenched Kiba's head up and placed the kunai at Kiba's neck. Yield, Naruto said. Winner Naruto Uzumaki, the proctor said. Naruto got up and the tiger cub disappeared, seeing the match was over. He walked back up to his team with Kiba following, unhappy. Very clever. Naruto barely showed anything in the match. It will leave whoever will fight him in the finals in a bind since they don't know what Naruto can really do, Kakashi commented. That's Naruto. He's a very skilled shinobi, Hideko said proudly. Kakashi had to agree with that. The next match was Mika facing off against a waterfall nin. Mika made quick work against him. She cut him up with her tanto, shallow cuts that hurt a lot, then knocked him out with 2 senbon needles to the neck. Kakashi-sensei, that's the same thing that Haku girl did in Wave. The pink-haired girl shouted. It was, Kakashi said. Well, what do you expect? Haku and Mika trained together. So Mika was bound to pick up a few things for Haku, Naruto said. The next match was Hyuga versus Hyuga. It was horrible match. The boy Hyuga belittled the girl, breaking whatever confidence she had. This enraged Naruto and Ryo since it seemed the two were family and family should never treat each other this way. Mika held back both Naruto and Ryo from jumping down and dealing with the arrogant Hyuga. The match ended and Mika went to help the Hyuga girl. A few more matches passed and then the final match. Gaara facing off against the green spandex wearing ninja. Lee was fast and that annoyed Gaara. Soon Gaara caught Lee and pinned him down with his sand. Soon a huge fist made of sand arose. Yield or I'll smash you, Gaara said. Lee tried to get up, but the sand bonds were too strong for him to break. Gaara hadn't underestimated Lee at all. After seeing Lee's build, he figured Lee used taijutsu mostly and had to strengthen his sand to keep the boy tied up. Finally Lee conceded, unable to move. After that the remaining genin went to the floor. The picked numbers. The matches were then selected. Ryo Kasaragi vs. Neji Hyuga. Shikamaru Nara vs. Temari. Mika Uzumaki vs. Dosu Kinyuda. Shino Aburame vs. Konkuro. Gaara vs. Samui. And finally, Sasuke Uchiha vs. Naruto Uzumaki. I want to congratulate all those who will be competing as well as those who made it this far. The finals will be in a month, Hiruzen said. Why a month? Naruto asked. So you can all prepare and train for your match. Plus there will be a lot of dignitaries coming to see the finals and it takes time for them to all get here, Hiruzen said. If this is a tournament, then does that mean only one of us will become a chunin? Shikamaru asked. No, you'll all be watched and evaluated by the shinobi during the finals, and depending on how you do, no matter if you win or lose, will determine if you will make chunin, Hiruzen said. After that they were dismissed to train for a month. Hideko looked at his team. They were all in the finals and he was very proud, but this left him with a problem. He couldn't really train all three at once. But luckily his team knew this and came up with a solution. Hideko-sensei, I will be training alone for my match, Ryo said. Oh, think you can beat the Hyuga yourself? Hideko asked. His tone wasn't laced with any malice, but piqued with curiosity instead. No, not by myself. But I'll ask my clan for help. I am sure they know of some ways to beating a Hyuga, Ryo said. Hideko nodded. I'll also decline your training, Hideko. Naruto needs your help more since he's facing the Uchiha. I think I can train against my opponent with not much help, Mika said without a hint of arrogance in her. Hideko nodded. He knew that Naruto would most of his time in training to fight the Uchiha. Well then Naruto, I guess that leaves you and me. I'll need to train you good to go up against the Uchiha. He may be arrogant and all, but his clan is powerful and you'd need to know how to fight against the Sharingan, he said. Naruto nodded, ready for whatever Hideko was about to dish out. Good, See you two in a month, Hideko said looking at his other two students. They bowed and left leaving Naruto and Hideko. Scene break. Ryo got to a training ground and looked around after finding and feeling that no one was around. He did some hand signs. Summoning jutsu. A plume of smoke, then a wolf appeared. About the size of a street. Bernard. It had a dark blue almost black coat with a silver gray underbelly. You called Ryo? It asked. Yes, Lupa. Could you give this to my aunt? Ryo said as he handed Lupa a letter. Lupa took the letter into her mouth. She then disappeared in a puff of smoke. Scene break. In the Kasaragi clan compound, a woman was sipping green tea and snacking on some sort of buttery biscuits. She knew that they were quite fattening, but she'd just burn it off in training. She had short black hair and brown eyes. She was wearing camouflage biker shorts, a white tank top that was covered by a black leather vest, as well as a long-sleeved gray jacket that had the Kasaragi clan emblem on the back. A message, Lupa said as she dropped the letter on the table. The woman opened it and read it, then nodded. Can you take me to him? She asked. I can, Lupa said with a nod. Great. Let me grab a few things, then I'll be ready to go, the woman said. A few minutes later she came back packed and ready to go. Right. Let's hit the road, she said. The woman and Lupa vanished in a plume of smoke. Scene break. Ryo saw Lupa appear, but with a passenger. Lupa, after dropping off her passenger, then left. So brat, you're fighting a Hyuga, the woman said. I am Aunt Yuffie, Ryo said. Before, Ryo was one of the strongest ninjas of the Kasaragi clan. Yuffie Kasaragi. She was known within New Whirlpool as the best kunoichi of the Kasaragi clan. She had amazing skills in kenjutsu and taijutsu. She had the best success rate in assassinations and infiltration missions and had the highest amount of kills. She was a strong leader and led the Uzukage's Black Ops division. New Whirlpool had two forces. One was the Anbu-based Gale and the Black Ops 1. The Black Ops was a splinter group of Gale and only handled the toughest missions like assassinations and infiltration. Most of Gale did was protection detail for the Uzukage and village security and police force. Alright, tell me about the Hyuga, Yuffie said. Ryo nodded and began to tell Yuffie all about Neji Hyuga. He's from the branch family as far as I can tell. He's got a superiority complex too. Also, he's hung up about fate or something. I've heard he's supposed to be a prodigy or something. He's very skilled in Jiyuken and has a ruthless streak in him, Ryo said. How so? Yuffie asked. In the prelims he fought his cousin, who was the heiress of the clan, and he almost killed her and would have if it wasn't for the Junin stopping him from committing the act, Ryo said. Yuffie clenched her hands. The Kasaragi clan, like the Uzumaki clan, always, and I mean always, put family first before anything else, and for someone to damn near almost kill their own blood angered the Kasaragi clan. I see. Well then, I got some training to put you through since you seem to want to put this Neji in his place. Am I right? Yuffie asked. Yes, Aunt Yuffie, Ryo said. Right. Well, first things first. I'll need to help you train against the Byakugan. I've fought more than my share of Hyugas and I know their Jiyuken quite well. I am not proficient in it, but will make a suitable sparring partner for you. Plus, I can give you this, Yuffie said. She pulled out a storage scroll and released the contents. What appeared was armor. She tossed it to Ryo. Tell me what you notice, she said. Ryo looked at the armor and couldn't see anything different by its appearance really. It looked like standard Kasaragi clan armor they all wore. But then he started to feel it and found some places were more reinforced than other places. This got him very confused as to why that was. So you've noticed it, Yuffie said. Yes, there seems to be more protection in certain areas, Ryo said. Yes. This armor was built to fight against Hyugas. The areas where the plating is thicker is where Tenketsu points are located. For Jiyuken to work, the Hyuga has to strike the Tenketsu points directly. This armor protects it so your chakra points are not closed off. It still hurts like all hell, but you can still be able to use chakra, Yuffie said. Ryo just nodded. Go on, try it, Yuffie said. Ryo did and found that it fit him. Yuffie looked a bit smug. Is your aunt awesome or what? She asked as she struck a victory pose with matching backdrop. Let me guess. Mom told you about me coming to Konoha and wanted me prepared just in case I face a Hyuga, Ryo said. Can't you ever just be amazed and astounded by me? Yuffie pouted and stomped her foot. Ryo shook his head. Yuffie may be one of the strongest of the Kasaragi clan, but sometimes she acted childish. Okay. Give me back the armor. I am going to train you into avoiding the Gyuken, Yuffie said. Ryo nodded since he knew wearing armor wouldn't be enough. So the training began. Scene break. Mika was walking around the village and found Hayate. She walked right up to him. You need to see a doctor for that cough, she said. Hayate just blinked at the genin. He remembered her during the prelims and knew she was skilled as far as he could tell. I've been to the doctor and they don't know what's causing it, he said. That's because they are all idiots and could find their butts with a mirror, Mika said. Hayate just blinked. Come with me and I'll fix you up, Mika said. I know our villages are allies and everything, but you're just a genin, Hayate said. So, in my village I am one of the best medic nins there is, Mika said without boast. Hayate shrugged. What did he have to lose? So Hayate and Mika went to the hospital where they found an exam room. Mika then began very professionally check Hayate out. She then nodded and muttered a few things, then began pulling things out of her storage scroll then and there and began concocting something. Once it was done she handed it to Hayate. It was an odd object in the shape of the letter L. It looked like it had a cartridge of some kind inside the top part of the L. This is called an inhaler. You place this part to your mouth, gesturing to the lower part that had a hole in it, and when you inhale through your mouth you press the top of this cartridge and a vapor is released. The vapor will enter your lungs and will help your coughing, Mika said. Hayate was shocked that Mika was able to do this so quickly. He decided to try it and followed the directions Mika had given. He felt the vapor enter his lungs and he felt good, better than he had ever felt. Good, take it 2 to 3 times a day for as long as you can. Your condition should clear up and be more manageable. Here are some extra cartridges and I'll show you how to load them, Mika said. She showed Hayate then they left. Scene break. Okay Naruto. I know Kakashi is training the Uchiha so that means I got to train you extra hard to be ready, Hideko said. Naruto nodded. Good, now thankfully you didn't show much in the prelims so most of your skills are still a mystery to the Uchiha. This works to your advantage, but you can't let that go to your head, Hideko said. Again Naruto nodded. Right, let's begin, Hideko said. He had Naruto start with taijutsu. Now Naruto's talent wasn't taijutsu, but fuinjutsu and ninjutsu. But he knew he had to have a certain level of skill in taijutsu to be a good shinobi and not rely on one talent. Hideko though changed Naruto's training a bit. He needed Naruto to fight Sasuke without looking into the Uchiha's eyes. The Sharingan can entrance its opponent. So Hideko had Naruto train his other senses. Hideko also worked on increasing Naruto's speed since that would be key to beating the Uchiha. Since he knew that even if the Uchiha can see your attack with the Sharingan if you're faster than the Uchiha then they couldn't react fast enough to defend. Scene break. The training the three did was hard and they barely saw one another except May when they went into town and eat or at the hotel. Yuffie was really beating Ryo into dodging the Gyuken strikes. Come on brat, faster. You got to get faster, Yuffie said as she performed Gyuken on Ryo. Like she stated before, she knew the Hyuga's taijutsu style very well after fighting against it many times. Though she was no expert and couldn't shut down the chakra points since she wasn't a Hyuga. But she could simulate very well and give Ryo live training. Ryo was pushed to his limits, as Yuffie didn't just want him to dodge Neji's Gyuken strikes, but all Hyugas no matter their skill. She didn't want Ryo to just rely on the armor to defend himself. She also upped Ryo's speed too while at it since she knew that Hyugas weren't known to be very fast and it could be an advantage against them. Okay. Let's take a break, Yuffie said. Ryo plopped to the ground exhausted. Mika, who had been watching this, walked over and handed him a towel as well as a bottle of ice water. Thanks Mika, but shouldn't you be training for your match? Ryo asked. I am. Don't worry, Mika said with a smile. Ryo shook his head. So Ryo, I have heard you got in contact with my niece. Yuffie asked. I have. Her name is Tenten. Her teammate is the Hyuga I am facing, Ryo said. Has she decided to rejoin the clan? Yuffie asked. I don't know, Ryo said. Well then what are we waiting for? Let's go and find out. Yuffie shouted with exuberance. Mika and Ryo's sweat dropped at this. Scene break. Neji had finished his training for the day. Tenten was picking up her weapons. What are you doing here? Neji asked coldly. Tenten looked up to see Ryo and a woman. We're not here to spy on you, Hyuga. Just to see my cousin. You can leave, Ryo said coldly. Neji tried to glare back, but his glare was nothing compared to Ryo's, which was like cold steel with a razor edge. So Neji huffed and walked off. He definitely has one huge rod up his butt, Yuffie commented. Hello Tenten, have you given any thought to my proposal? Ryo asked, ignoring his aunt. I have, Tenten said. Hey, don't forget me. My name is Yuffie Kasaragi, I am your aunt. Your mother was my sister. Oh my, you look just like Diana when she was your age, Yuffie said in one breath. Tenten just blinked, staring at Yuffie. Sorry about that. Like she said, she's Yuffie and she's one of the strongest members of the Kasaragi clan. She just sometimes acts like this, Ryo sighed. Okay, Tenten said. So, what's your decision? Ryo asked. I accept. I want to be a part of the Kasaragi clan, Tenten said. Yuffie squealed with glee as she grabbed Tenten around the waist and began to spin her around and around in happiness. When they stopped, Tenten was very dizzy and she fell on her butt with one hand gripping the ground to keep her stable as the other went to her head to try and cease the spinning in her head. Ryo knelt down by her. You okay? He asked. I think I am going to hurl, Tenten murmured. Ryo just chuckled. Yuffie stopped her happy dance she was doing after she had let Tenten go. She then pulled out a storage scroll and released a jacket. She tossed it to Tenten. Since you are now a part of the Kasaragi clan, you need to wear our symbol, she said. Tenten, now finally able to see straight, looked at the jacket. It was grayish blue and had the Kasaragi clan emblem on the back. She put it on and it fit her. I've done it again, Yuffie exclaimed as she struck a pose and a backdrop appeared. You mean you broke into Tenten's room, checked out what her measurements are and made the jacket to fit her, Ryo said. Why do you have to do that? Yuffie whined. Tenten blinked. This woman, Yuffie, broke into her room, which was laid with traps and didn't get caught in any, and got her measurements and made this jacket for her. She wasn't sure to be angry for the break-in or surprised that Yuffie got by her traps. Those traps in her room were her best work, really. Okay, now, time for the oath, Yuffie said seriously. Oath? Tenten asked. Yes, all Kasaragi clan members take this oath. Usually when they become shinobi, but since you're already one, it's a bit late. It still can be done though, Ryo said. Yuffie had Tenten stand while Yuffie prepared things. It was very simple. Yuffie pulled out a kunai and Tenten noticed it was different from any kunai she'd seen before. It had markings on it as well as it looked lighter than regular kunai. This is a ceremonial kunai only used for this and other special things. Never used in battle, Yuffie said, seeing Tenten look at the kunai. Tenten nodded. Hold out your hand, Yuffie said. Tenten did and Yuffie made a cut. Blood began to pool in Tenten's hand. She then squeezed it into a fist and recited the oath Ryo told her earlier. I Tenten Kasaragi vow on my life and blood to honor the Kasaragi clan and all it holds dear, to never go against my family, to fight for my family, my village with every drop of blood within me, Tenten said. I Yuffie Kasaragi accept your oath, Tenten Kasaragi, and welcome to the Kasaragi clan, my dear niece, Yuffie said. Ryo then bandaged up Tenten's hand and Yuffie hugged Tenten. Tenten felt so happy to have a family now. Sure, she had her dad, but now she knew she was a part of a clan, and this clan seemed to made up of powerful shinobi and kunoichi. She just hoped she'd fit in. Scene break. Samui panted as she took a rest from her training. She knew she had to work hard since she was facing Gaara, a Jinchuriki. Though Gaara was stable now, it didn't mean he wouldn't go easy on her. So she began training again. Omoi and Karui were with her training themselves. Scene break. Naruto had just finished lunch and was heading back to the training ground. He then spotted something. He walked over and saw a long white-haired man in a crouch. He could hear giggling as he seemed to peeping in on something. Naruto knew that behind the high wooden fence was the hot springs. This angered Naruto, so he pulled out a kunai and wrapped a seal around, then hurled it right underneath the man. An explosion happened and the man flew into the air, landing right in the hot springs. Screams of shock echoed, then they turned enraged screams. Naruto smirked as he heard the man get pounded by the women. What he didn't know was that in the hot springs was several kunoichi and the man was getting a severe beat down. The man's cries of pain were quite high-pitched. Naruto left whistling and headed back to his training grounds. He was in the middle of training when the white-haired man appeared. What the hell did you do that for, brat? He asked. You're a pervert and you got was coming to you, Naruto said. I am not a pervert, the man said. Okay. Then what are you? Naruto asked. I'm a super pervert, the man exclaimed. Naruto blinked. This man was proud of being super pervert. Whatever. Can you go now? I need to train, he said. What's your name, brat? The man asked. Who are you and why do you want to know his name? Mika asked. Hideko and Mika had come in. Hideko had checked in on how Mika was training. They had come back to see how Naruto was doing only to find this white-haired man with Naruto. They then saw the strangest thing they'd have ever seen. I am the sage of MT. Myoboku. I make women around me swoon with desire. Men tremble upon hearing my name and my enemies flee in terror at the sight of me. I am the mighty, the gallant Jiraiya of the Sannin. The man proclaimed as he did a funky kabuki dance and ended it with summoning a toad to strike a pose at the end. This guy is a Sannin. Naruto and Mika thought. Hideko sighed as he saw this. He knew all shinobi had their quirks, but this was quite strange to say the least. So now that you know who I am, are you impressed? Jiraiya asked. Not really. Now you're just a perverted hermit, that's all, Naruto said. I'm not a. Jiraiya was cut off. Right. I forgot you're a super perverted hermit, Naruto said using air quotes on the word super. Naruto, why are you calling him that? Mika asked. I caught him spying in on a hot spring on my way back from lunch, Naruto said. Mika's eyes narrowed. She then pulled out several Senbon needles. Oh, really? She growled. Yeah. I threw an explosive tag under his butt and blew him into the spring to give him his just desserts, Naruto said. Mika smiled at Naruto's act. She was so proud of him. Yeah. Jiraiya grumbled as he still felt the stung of the explosive tag igniting so close to his rump. He then remembered Naruto's name and looked at the blonde boy. He looked like Minato alright except he had Kushina's face. Say kid, how about I train you for the finals? He offered. No thanks. I'm good, Naruto said. I can teach you things you can only dream of, Jiraiya offered. Like what? Naruto asked. Like this, Jiraiya said as he summoned a toad. I already know how to summon. I got a couple summoning contracts, Naruto said. Jiraiya grumbled, then he was hit with inspiration. Then I shall teach you a technique the fourth created, he said. A swirling ball of chakra appeared in his hand, then he slammed it into a nearby tree, obliterating where it hit. Huh. Chakra shape manipulation. You concentrate a mass of chakra into the palm of your hand, making it into a swirling ball. It combines power and control. Interesting, Naruto said. Jiraiya was shocked Naruto knew this. Oh, Naruto is pretty good at picking apart ninjutsu when he feels like, Mika giggled. Yeah, I can see that, Jiraiya grumbled. What he saw next shocked the toad sage. Naruto had a misshapen swirl of chakra in his right hand. It looked more oval or egg-shaped than a sphere, but Naruto had made this much progress with almost no time at all. Brat, how'd you do that? It took the fourth 3 years to even get there. Jiraiya asked. I got a good handle on my chakra control. Mika, you should try this. You got better chakra control than me. This should be easy for you, Naruto said. Mika nodded, and after a bit of instruction from Naruto, she started forming a Rasengan in her hand. It looked more sphere-like than Naruto's attempt. Jiraiya couldn't believe his eyes. He then flicked his eyes up and saw the symbol on the headband. Whirlpool, he said. Yes, this is my team from New Whirlpool, Hideko said. New Whirlpool? Jiraiya asked. Of course. As you know, Whirlpool was destroyed, but we rebuilt it better and stronger than before. We kept ourselves hidden till now, really, Hideko said. Jiraiya couldn't believe it. He hadn't heard of any village called New Whirlpool at all. He wondered why he hadn't, since he had a pretty good spy network. Hey, I got it, Mika said as she showed off a perfect Rasengan in her hand. Nice girly, but does it have the power? Jiraiya asked, thinking that it was just a show. Let's see, shall we? Mika said. She then hurled the swirling ball of chakra instead of charging and slamming it into something. The ball of swirling chakra hit a rock. It decimated the rock and Jiraiya's jaw dropped. Nicely done, Mika. Now I just need to work on mine, Naruto said as he kept working on forming a sphere instead an oval. Mika nodded and walked over to help Naruto. Jiraiya grumbled as Hideko walked over to Jiraiya. He knows who his parents are, but he doesn't know you're his godfather, Hideko said. Why would Sensei tell him? Jiraiya asked. He didn't. I did, Hideko said. Jiraiya turned to Hideko. Let them train and I'll tell you a story, Hideko said. Jiraiya nodded and walked over to a shady spot and sat down. Hideko told Jiraiya how he met Naruto and everything that had happened. Jiraiya was angry at how the village had treated Naruto and was saddened he couldn't do a thing. But he vowed to himself to be a better godfather to Naruto. Scene break. It didn't take long for Naruto to master the Rasengan and Jiraiya was amazed. But what amazed him even more was Naruto's skill in Fuinjutsu. Naruto is known as a prodigy in our village and unlike this one we don't throw that word around a lot, Hideko said. Jiraiya was looking at one of Naruto's seals and couldn't believe how advanced it was. But this is a flash tag, but it looks so advanced, the Toad Sage said. That's the beauty in Naruto's work. He makes it look utterly complicated, but it's simple. It's a way to divert others from trying to copy his seals though he's got a few security measures in the seals too. This one is just the more obvious one, Hideko said. Unbelievable. And the explosive tag he used on me? Jiraiya asked. That one. I am sure that one wasn't only a little powered up. He got one's a heck of a lot more powerful, Hideko said. Jiraiya shivered and glad he was hit with a low-grade explosive tag and not a more powerful one. So what level is he? He asked. Hideko just smiled since he knew he was going to blow the Toad Sage's mind. Scene break. Tenten had a smile on her face. She was her cousin and aunt. They were telling her all about New Whirlpool. They entered the weapons shop her father owned. Dad, I'm home, she called out. Hey Tenten, I didn't think you'd be you. Tenten's father said as he pointed at Yuffie. Tenten and Ryo blinked with confusion. Hey there, you've gotten old, Yuffie said with a smile. What are you doing here? I did my best to make Diana happy. I swear I did. She died of a sickness. I couldn't do anything to stop it. Please don't castrate me. Tenten's father pleaded as tears rained down his face. You threatened to castrate my dad? Tenten asked. Sheesh, that was years ago. Back when he and your mom were getting together. I just gave him a nice friendly chat about him taking care of Diana and such, Yuffie said nonchalantly. You kidnapped me, tied me to a chair and told me what you were going to do to me if I broke Diana's heart, Tenten's dad said shivering at the memory. I still don't understand why you think I came here to do that. I'm just here to train my nephew here for the finals, Yuffie said. So, you're not here to cut my friend off? Tenten's dad asked as he still kept his crotch covered just in case it was a trick. Nope, but I do have a proposal for you, Yuffie said. Okay, what is it? Tenten's dad asked, still protecting what made him a man. Dad, I've been asked and decided to rejoin Mom's clan. I am now Tenten Kasaragi, Tenten said. You are? Tenten's dad asked. Tenten nodded. Sir, with Tenten joining our clan that means she'll have to move back home with us, but we know she doesn't want to leave you so we're here to offer you to move to New Whirlpool with Tenten and set up shop there, Ryo said. Why? I make a pretty good decent living here. Tenten's dad asked. We can give you a much better prospect besides, you can be officially endorsed by the Kasaragi clan and that will boost business for you, Yuffie said. Tenten's dad wasn't sure, so Ryo handed him some papers. Here, look through that and let us know what you decided, Ryo said. Tenten's dad nodded. Come on my adorable niece, let's get some food, I'm starving, Yuffie said. So the three Kasaragi clan members left to get some food. While Tenten's dad looked at the papers he had gotten. He had a big decision to make. Scene break. Jiraiya was still shocked as he saw Naruto unleashed a perfected Rasengan and obliterated a nearby boulder. He had taken a page from Mika's book and had learned how to throw the Rasengan. Why Jiraiya was still shocked even though he had seen Naruto complete the Rasengan before. Well, it took Minato 3 years to create and complete this jutsu and for Naruto it took no time really at all. Alright, I think I'm close to being ready for the finals, Naruto said. Yup. I can't wait, Mika said. You two have come far and I am sure Ryo has grown with his month of training. I can't wait to see how far you've all come since I took you on as my team, Hideko said. Jiraiya shook his head. He had heard from his sensei about the invasion and knew that this would be an interesting time for Konoha. It was the day before the finals. Hideko had called his team together. He looked at the three before him and smiled. I am proud of you all and how far you've come so far in your own training, he said. I've watched you all grow since you were kids and I am proud to be your sensei now. Tomorrow I want you to show everyone in that stadium the strength of New Whirlpool. Yeah, kick everyone else's asses and take names. Yuffie shouted. Ryo sighed at his aunt's behavior. Yuffie had decided to stay and watch the finals. She wanted to make sure all the hard work she put into training Ryo paid off. Ryo, don't let your emotions get the better of you in your match. Your emotions are a double-edged sword and can be your greatest friend just as much as your worst enemy, Hideko said. Ryo nodded. Yuffie hammered this into him. I mean literally hammer this into him. He still had the scars from her lessons. Mika, your skills as a medic nin has grown during your month and you also made sure your other skills didn't lag either, Hideko said. Mika smiled. And finally Naruto. You've made much progress in this month and I know you're ready to face the Uchiha and whoever else, Hideko said. Naruto nodded. Let's call it a day. We got a long day tomorrow with the finals and the invasion. Good luck, Hideko said. Scene break. There was excitement in the crowd as everyone packed the stadium. People headed to the betting counters to place their bets on outcomes of matches. Most wagering the Uchiha to win it all. In the stands the rookie Konoha genin sat down with their sensei close by, but with a certain one-eyed Junin missing. Hideko and Yuffie sat with them. Tenten, what's that you're wearing? Lee asked. Tenten was wearing her clan jacket. The emblem of her clan was on the back. It was a large whirlpool and inside it was two crossed kunais, a sword pointed directly down the middle of the crossed kunais, shuriken circled all around and a scroll on the bottom of the crossed kunais. The Kasaragi clan loved weapons. I am just supporting my clan Lee, Tenten said. You have a clan Tenten? Guy asked shocked upon hearing this info. Yup. That's my niece and I am Yuffie Kasaragi, number 1 kunoichi of the Kasaragi clan. Yuffie proclaimed. The Konoha shinobi looked at Yuffie and blinked. Tenten sighed as she was getting used to her aunt's behavior while Hideko ignored it since he was already used to it. The Kasaragi clan, I've never heard of them before, a cigarette-smoking Junin named Asuma said. Our clan is a close cousin to the Uzumaki clan, Yuffie said. Yosh, I wonder if I am a part of a clan as well. I bet I am. I must find them and if I don't I will do 1,000 push-ups with one hand and if I fail to do that then I'll race around Konoha 20,000 times, Lee exclaimed. Yes my youthful student and I shall help you and if I fail I shall. Everyone tuned out as Guy ranted. Though Yuffie's eye twitched at this as she so wanted to shut them up with her fists. Hideko was the only thing holding her back from doing just that. Scene break. Down on the field Naruto, Mika and Ryo stood. Samui was with them along with Kankuro, Temari and Gaara. The only two Konoha shinobi there was Shikamaru and Neji with the Uchiha not even there. Along with the sound nin Mika was supposed to be fighting. Man, this is such a drag, the lazy shinobi muttered as he looked at his fellow competitors and how serious they all looked. Scene break. Up in the cage booth Hiruzen sat then he turned and smiled. Lord Cage, how glad you've come. I hope you had a safe trip, Hiruzen said. I did, and I am quite glad the finals are here since I don't think your old bones could take a trip, the Cage said. Nonsense. These bones still have some life in them, Hiruzen said ignoring the barb. Celine and Asuna appeared with their guards. Celine had Zabuza and a man wearing a mask with a crow on it. While A's guards was his brother, B, and another top Junin, Yugito. Ah Lady Uzukage, Lord Rakage. Nice to have you here, Hiruzen said shaking their hands. It's nice to be here, I wouldn't miss seeing my nephew in action, Celine said. Yeah, I am curious to see what Naruto has in store for us, A said. Hiruzen nodded. He was curious as to what Naruto was going to do. The Cage just nodded in his greetings, but inside he was seething at how complicated things had become. Soon the time had come. Hiruzen began by giving a speech, then the first match was underway. All competitors head up to the box except Neji Hyuga and Ryo Kasaragi, Hayate said. Hayate survived his encounter against Baki with the help of Gaara to distract his sensei and Kabuto, giving Hayate time to escape. They all left, leaving Ryo and Neji. Both stared one another, eyeing each other as they tried to size up their opponent. Hayate looked at the two. Begin, he said, then leapt away. I have already won this. Fate has declared it, Neji said. I don't really care since I don't believe in fate or any of that bullshit you suck up. Let's just fight, Ryo said. Neji activated his Byakugan. Scene break. Up in the stands the Hyugas sat. Hiashi Hyuga, the head of the clan, turned to his youngest daughter. Watch carefully, Hanabi. You will see how a Hyuga should fight, Hiashi said. Hanabi nodded. Scene break. In the stands. The kid's got a death wish, Yuffie said. He does, Hideko said. If you're referring to that Ryo kid, then yes. Neji Hyuga is a praised prodigy, Asuma said. Yes, he's as very proficient in his clan taijutsu, Kurenai said. I was talking about the Hyuga. I trained Ryo up so he can totally own the Hyugas, Yuffie said. What do you mean? Kurenai asked. You'll see, Yuffie sing-songed. Scene break. Down on the field, Neji wasn't have a good time as Ryo was evading each of his strikes, and it was frustrating him since it couldn't possible. He was a Hyuga, and that meant he was far better than all other shinobi. He sped up his strikes with Ryo dodging them, and the ones he couldn't dodge he parried away with hand slaps. While the ones he didn't slap away hit, but didn't seem to affect Ryo any, which frustrated Neji immensely. It seems your vaunted Jiyuken is ineffective against me, Ryo said without emotion. This ticked Neji off even more. You were within my divination, he said. 8 trigrams, 64 palms. 2 palms. 4 palms. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms. Neji struck each point and then was panting. You lose, he said. Then why'd I feel fine? Ryo asked, still standing. He knew that though his armor protected his chakra points, it didn't block Neji's Byakugan at all. The Hyuga's bloodline could see through the armor, but not see the parts of the armor that protected Ryo from gentle fists, and Neji didn't know that none of his attacks were even effective even though he saw all the points. Neji was shocked, but he wasn't the only one. Scene break. The Hyugas were shocked that a branch member knew one of the main branch's techniques, but that shock turned to outrage at someone not falling after their beloved attack. The Junin and Genin were shocked too. Hinata was there with her team. She was still hurt, but was cleared to be here. She couldn't believe that one of the vaunted techniques of the Hyuga clan had failed. How is that possible? He should be on the ground beaten. Asuma asked. Hey, just part of my kick training regiment that I gave Ryo. He can beat the Hyuga's Jiyuken, Yuffie said. But how? Kurenai asked, stunned. Sorry, clan secret, Yuffie said. Does that mean I'll learn it? Tenten asked. Maybe, but that will be later, Yuffie said. Tenten nodded. I must get stronger, Guy-sensei, to be able to withstand Neji's attack like Ryo does, Lee said. Yes, Ryo's flames of youth are burning brightly, Guy said. Will you two knock it off? Yuffie shouted as she bashed both of their heads with dual mallets. She had unsealed them from one of her scrolls. This time Hideko didn't get to Yuffie in time to stop her from shutting up the 2 green spandex-wearing shinobi. Well, that's a way to shut them up, Asuma commented. Scene break. Back on the field. How are you able to stand? I've sealed off all your chakra points. Neji asked. Look at your hands, Ryo said. Neji did and saw they were raw red. He was confused as to why that was. Now it's my turn, Ryo said as he pulled out his katana. Neji got into a defensive stance since he knew Ryo was quite good in kenjutsu. Ryo moved in speeds that reached almost Junin. Neji did his best to dodge and block each slash, but he was getting cut up. When Ryo finished, he hopped back. Just admit defeat, Ryo said. No, I am destined to win. It is fate, Neji gasped. He was in great pain from all the shallow cuts he had all over his body. They stung like hell since they were so many of them all over. He was also tired too from evading the more lethal strikes. Will you just stop with this fate crap? It's just nonsense, Ryo said. Who are you to say that? You don't know what my life was like, Neji said. I know enough. You're a part of the branch family of the Hyuga clan that is ordered to protect the main branch. You like all of your branch family are branded with a seal to prevent the Byakugan from being stolen, but it's used to make their own family into slaves, Ryo said. Neji ripped off his headband showing off the seal. Let me tell you my tale, he said. Oh great. Emo story time, Ryo mumbled. Neji then went on about how his father was killed after Hinata's kidnapping was foiled and the Hyuga clan elders ordered it. Kumo, the village that had attempted the kidnapping, had demanded reparations for the killing of one of their ambassadors. They demanded the head of the leader of the Hyuga clan, which was Neji's uncle, Hiyashi. Hiyashi and Neji's dad, Hizashi, were twin brothers. The Hyuga elders ordered Hizashi to be the one sacrificed since they didn't actually want to hand over Hiyashi's head to Kumo. Hearing this looked a bit ashamed at his village's past. Do you know that? Do you actually know that it was the elders? Ryo asked. Yes, along with my uncle, Neji spat. Give me a break. I'm sure there's another explanation. Like maybe your father took your uncle's place. Your uncle wanted to be the one, but your father stepped in because he loved his brother and did it to protect his brother, Ryo said. Silence. You don't know anything, Neji said. I sort of do. You see, the Kasaragi clan is a close cousin to the Uzumaki clan. Our clan had vowed to be the bodyguards of the Uzumaki clan. So we're kind of alike, Ryo said. If I was in that position your father was in, I know I'd do the same thing to save my brother. Neji charged in and Ryo smirked. He stabbed his katana into the ground and jumped back, and then a bright flash covered the field that came from the katana. When it ended and everyone had their vision back, they saw Neji on the ground rolling around in pain. He was clutching his eyes. Ryo walked over, pulling up his sword, and stepped on Neji's chest, placing the tip of his sword at Neji's neck. What Ryo did was drop a flash tag on the ground as he put his sword down to hide the dropping of the flash tag. Winner. Ryo Kasaragi, Hayate said. Scene break. In the stands, the Hyuga were shocked at the outcome. Hiyashi excused himself. He had to talk to his nephew. With the Junin and Genin, they were shocked too. Well, except Hideko and Yuffie. Was that what you had planned out? Hideko asked, turning to Yuffie. Nope. I told him to beat the shit of the Hyuga and cut him up good in the process, Yuffie said. That was a flash tag, right? Kurenai asked, stunned. I think so, but I've never seen one so powerful before, Asuma said. Thank Naruto for that. He's a prodigy when it comes to Fuinjutsu, Hideko said. You mean that spiky blonde brat made that seal? Anko asked. He did, and many more. He's created and improved many seals that we use in the village, Hideko said. Unbelievable. Kurenai said. Yeah, Mika and Ryo are all advanced expert in Fuinjutsu, Hideko said. Advanced expert, what does that mean? Ino asked. You see, there are stages or levels in learning Fuinjutsu. The first is, and the bottom one is novice. Everyone starts there. Next is beginner, which is a step up from novice. After that it is intermediate, then advanced, then expert, and then where Hideko's team is at advanced expert. They are all close to being called master, Yuffie said. In New Whirlpool, kids are taught Fuinjutsu at a young age. Some even before they can walk. They are trained by their families and the village in Fuinjutsu. We have the most seal masters of any village, Hideko said. Naruto is more close to master, but he stayed back to let his teammates catch up to him. He wants to be a master along with his team. He helps them with their Fuinjutsu training too. Everyone was shocked to hear that New Whirlpool had so many seal masters. The Junin knew how difficult a skill that was, and to have so many is just simply amazing. Tenten got excited that she'd be learning Fuinjutsu. Amazing to have 3 genin to be that advanced in Fuinjutsu, Asuma said. I don't see what's so great about Fuinjutsu, Sakura said. It's simple, girly. Your village, all hidden villages have a chakra sensory system. That chakra sensory system detects unknown chakra signatures that enter their villages. It helps prevents foreign shinobi entering a village unknown. Seals create that whole system. All exploding tags are seals, as are the storage scrolls too, along with the flash tags you have just witnessed. Fuinjutsu is quite amazing. A Fuinjutsu master can wipe out an entire army with just seals, Hideko said. They aren't better than Sasuke, Sakura said stubbornly. Ino nodded in total agreement with her rival. Though not as vehemently, since she understood Fuinjutsu a bit more than Sakura and knew it was a good tool to know. Hideko is right. Fuinjutsu is quite amazing. The only reason why there aren't many masters is that it's very hard to learn, since you have to be exact. You can't mess up a seal or it might cost you your life, Asuma said. Will I be able to become a seal master? Tenten asked. Maybe. We need to test where you are at when we get home, Hideko said. Tenten nodded. Hey. They all turned to find Yuffie stealing Anko's dango, which was a death sentence for any who knew Anko and how much she loved her dango. Yuffie though didn't seem to care as she was munching away on the dango with Anko a few seconds away from maiming Yuffie. But before the snake mistress could move, Yuffie hurled a kunai and landed right between Anko's legs. This stunned everyone. Don't worry, I paid you back for what I've taken. Check your pocket, Yuffie said as she snacked on the dango she had stolen. Anko looked in her trench coat pocket and found cash. How? She asked. I'm not only the number one kunoichi of the Kasaragi clan, but I'm also one of the best pickpockets and thieves too, Yuffie said as she kept munching away on the dango she had taken. Scene break. In the cage booth there was shock of Ryo beating a Hyuga. Damn, that brat's gotten better, Ace said. He has, and not to mention a flashy way to end things, Celine said with a grin. There were groans on hearing the very bad pun. I must say though that Ryo has shown great composure. I'm surprised he found a way to negate the Hyuga's Jiyuken, Hiruzen said. That was most likely Yuffie's doing. She developed a way to beat the Hyugas, Celine said. Interesting, the Cage said. Yes, but is he Chunin material? I asked. I'd say he is, Celine said. Yes, I am also very surprised with the power of the flash tag, Hiruzen said. That would be Naruto's work. He's increased the power of explosive and flash tags, Celine said. Really? How powerful? Hiruzen asked. Let's see, he's got a 5x, a 10x, 50x, 100x, 150x and so on and so forth. I think the strongest he got it to was 350x and those can obliterated a small village, Celine said. This made all the Cage's eyes widen at the utter destruction Naruto had within his fingertips. Scene break. In the competitor's booth there was talk. I think Ryo copied your little trick we used back in the forest against the Uchiha, Mika said. He did, but it works against any shinobi within bloodline in the eyes, Naruto said. Mika nodded. Man, how strong are you guys? Kankuro asked. We're pretty strong, but Naruto is the strongest of us, Ryo said appearing in the box. Shikamaru grumbled troublesome, with Shino adjusting his glasses. Scene break. The next match was Shikamaru and Temari. Canon. Scene break. It seems the Nara clan's laziness is still strong, Yuffie said. It is, Hideko said. Ino was shouting and yelling at how she was going to kill Shikamaru for forfeiting. Scene break. In the cage box the four Cages were discussing the match. He's the most unmotivated person I think I've ever met, Celine said. Yes, but he's quite smart too. Think he's Chunin material? Hiruzen asked. He is, but I'd have liked to see more of what he can do, Ace said. The Cage just nodded. Scene break. Man, now that's lazy, Naruto said. It may look like it, but the Nara calculated his chances and took the best route, Ryo said. Well, you know tactics the best, Ryo, Naruto said. Still, he just pissed of Temari. He's going to die, Kankuro said. Temari came up the stairs with a huge storm cloud over her head. She was in a rage from how her match went. She was toyed with by the laziest person she had ever met. This was a blow she couldn't take and she was going to take it out on someone. Kankuro hid behind Gaara. He could feel Temari's anger and he didn't want to be the target. He just hoped Gaara's sand would protect him too. Naruto though threw caution to the wind and walked towards Temari. He's going to die, Kankuro said. Hey Temari, Naruto said. Temari's teal-green eyes snapped to Naruto. Her fiery glare still burning. You did a great job. You just got a crap match against the laziest in the world, Naruto said then hugged her. Temari seemed to melt into Naruto's arms. She didn't know how he did it, but he calmed her down with a few words and a hug. She hugged Naruto back, making sure she pressed herself quite snugly against Naruto so he could feel her womanly assets. Thank you Naruto, she said into Naruto's ear. Samui saw this and frowned. Mika sighed and shook her head. She knew this was really going to be trouble later on. Why does Naruto have to be such a nice guy? She thought. Kankuro looked out from behind Gaara. How'd he survive? He thought. Scene break. The next match was Samui and Gaara. Samui and Gaara made it to the field and looked at each other. Samui knew that with Gaara being a Jinchuriki, that meant she'd need to be more on guard. Gaara had more chakra than her and could easily outlast her if sparring with Naruto in the past was any indication. She needed to finish this quick. Ready? Hayate asked. Samui and Gaara nodded. Begin. Hayate shouted. Samui jumped back and performed some hand signs and fired off a blast of lightning. A wall of sand stopped the attack. It's going to take more than that, Gaara said. I know that, Samui said. Then try this, Gaara said. Soon sand made into fists came flying out. Samui dodged them all, but they were getting faster and faster that she was having trouble. She then did some quick hand signs and lightning fired off, incinerating the sand fists. Gaara stopped his attack and began his next step of his plan. He sank into the sand, making Samui on edge as she did her best to sense where Gaara would be coming from. He's so in tune with the earth that it's hard to pinpoint where he is, Samui thought as she kept her eyes and ears open. Gaara then rose from the ground to grab Samui, but she jumped up just mere seconds from being captured. She hurled a smoke bomb down on the ground to give her a chance to escape. Smoke covered the area. Scene break. Man, this is an intense fight, Ryo said. It is. Samui is not underestimating Gaara at all, Naruto said. What do you think her next move is? Mika asked. Not sure, Naruto said. Meanwhile, with the other two Sand siblings. Have you ever seen Gaara go so easy on anyone? Kankuro asked. She's a friend and Naruto's taught him that friends don't hurt each other needlessly. He's only going to incapacitate her, Temari said. Scene break. In the stands. Aw man, why all this smoke? Kiba grumbled. A very smart move. She got away and can regroup, Kurenai said. Yes, she's a very resourceful one, Yuffie said. Makes you wonder what's going to happen next, Asuma said. I just want the smoke gone. Where's the action? Anko said. Scene break. Back down on the field, the smoke finally cleared. Samui was on the side of the wall so she'd be safe from any attacks from Gaara. Gaara was standing there with his arms folded. Waiting. Samui leapt off the wall and charged in. Everyone looked at her like she was crazy since they saw the wall of sand Gaara had put up before to defend himself. But as Samui hit the wall of sand, it turned out to be a lightning clone. The real Samui came out of nowhere, it seemed, but she had on a low-power genjutsu to disguise herself. She came in swinging her sword. It cut through Gaara, but he was just sand clone. Samui was surprised by this, and before she could react, her legs were encased with sand. She struggled to get out, but she knew she was stuck. Yield, Gaara said as he appeared from underground. He had a pike made of sand aimed at Samui's neck. Samui sighed and yielded. Winner. Gaara, Hayate said. Scene break. Everyone was surprised by this. Wow, now that was an interesting match, Hideko said. But it wasn't very exciting, Yuffie pouted. Yeah, it wasn't, Anko said with a pout on her face. It seemed Anko and Yuffie had bonded during the match. They were sharing a huge cache of dango between themselves. Kurenai wasn't sure about this whole bonding thing at all. Scene break. In the cage booth, the four village leaders discussed the results. Samui is quite talented. She just had a bad hand dealt to her, Celine said. I agree. Samui showed great tactics, said. And what about Gaara? Hiruzen asked. He's shown skill and tactics as well. I think he's worthy of Chunin, Celine said. I agree, A said. The cage said nothing even though they were discussing his own son. Scene break. I feel sorry for Samui, she had an uphill climb, Mika said. Yes, but she gave it her best effort, Ryo said. Naruto said nothing as he was preparing himself for his own match. Scene break. Next match. Mika Uzumaki vs. Dosu Kinuta, Hayate said. Mika jumped down and was ready to fight, but Dosu never showed. They waited the allotted time and Dosu was disqualified. Mika frowned since she was ready to fight, but had moved on without fighting. She got back up to the competitor's box. Naruto hugged her. Don't worry, you'll have an opponent next time, Naruto said. Yeah, and this give you a better chance. You are fully rested unlike your opponent might be, Ryo said. Thanks guys, Mika said with a smile. The next match, Naruto Uzumaki vs. Sasuke Uchiha, Hayate called. Naruto leapt down and no sign of Sasuke. Scene break. I do hope this isn't a pattern. I was looking forward to this match, A said. Yes, so was I, Celine said. Anbu, find Kakashi, Hiruzen said. Scene break. Oh man, another one. Come on. Anko whined. Yeah, I want to see Naruto beat the snot out of the Uchiha, Yuffie grumbled. What makes you think Naruto would win? Asuma asked. Easy. Naruto is the top genin of Whirlpool. He's the best in all areas and has been known to sparring against Chunin in the village and the occasional Junin, Yuffie said. You let a genin spar against Chunin and Junin? Kurenai asked shocked. Of course, it's the only way we of New Whirlpool think will help our shinobi get stronger. They face someone stronger than them. It not only gives the genin knowledge of facing a stronger opponent, but also gives lessons to the Chunin and Junin, Hideko said. Plus we make sure it doesn't go too far anyway, Yuffie said. What kind of lesson? Asuma asked. Never underestimate your opponent no matter the level. Genin are still capable shinobi after all. When it comes to fighting in the field, rank means nothing, Hideko said. The Junin and Special Junin had to agree with that. They understood that even a genin can cause trouble for an experienced shinobi since they used tricks that the experienced ones would forget. And the experienced shinobi are more set in their ways than the younger ones. The genin among them just looked confused. Scene break. It's been an hour and he still hasn't shown. I think this is grounds to disqualify the Uchiha, A said. I agree, for him to have the nerve to be this late shows he's not ready for the responsibility of being a Chunin, Celine said. Give him a bit more time, I am sure he'll show, the Cage said. I say no, he doesn't deserve it for making us wait this long, A said. Celine just nodded. What about if he loses his chance at a promotion, but he still gets to fight? The Cage suggested. No way. He's lost that right too for being tardy and making us wait for him, Celine said. I agree. He is a shinobi and has to learn to be on time no matter if he's a genin or junin, A said. But so many people have come out to see the Uchiha fight, the Cage argued. It's not our fault that he failed to show. He can only blame himself for that, A said. Yes, the Uchiha shouldn't be given any kind of favoritism at all. He just another shinobi in the ranks, Celine said. Hiruzen sighed, but he could see the points Celine was making. He motioned to an Anbu and whispered in their ear. The Anbu nodded and shushined away. Scene break. Naruto was sitting there meditating as he waited. He had nothing better to do really. Hayate was bored and then Anbu whispered into his ear. He nodded. Sasuke Uchiha is disqualified for not showing. Winner Naruto Uzumaki, the Junin said. There was shouts of outrage from the crowd who were Sasuke supporters. They booed and jeered. Naruto just shunshined back up to the box. Well, that was lackluster, he said to his team. I agree, but a wise decision by the Cages. The Uchiha didn't deserve to even fight if he doesn't even show up on time, Ryo said. Tell that to the crowd, Konkuro said. Scene break. Sakura and Ino were a part of the shouting. They can't do that, Sakura shouted. Yeah, Sasuke should be able to fight. They can't disqualify him, Ino said. They just did. Now shut up, Yuffie growled as she unleashed her ki on the two fangirls. This piped them down, but they glared at Yuffie, who then brandished a huge meat cleaver-like sword. You've got something to say? Yuffie asked in a very sweet tone. Sakura and Ino turned around and were like statues. Anko looked at Yuffie like she found a kindred spirit. The Uchiha has shown he's not ready to be a Chunin for not even showing up for his match at all, Hideko said. I agree, Asuma said. Kurenai nodded. Scene break. There was an intermission to get ready for the next round. The next round of matches would be determined by names being drawn out. Hiruzen stood up as the intermission came to an end. The next match shall be, Hiruzen said as he drew out a name, Gaara, and his opponent will be, he pulled out another names, Naruto Uzumaki. Both Jinchurikis looked at each other and then nodded. They'd give this match their all. They appeared on the ground and just as the match was going to begin a swirl of leaves appeared. Are we late? Kakashi asked. As a matter of fact you are and you got your student disqualified, Hayate said. I see. Well, it's not really my fault this time. Sasuke here wanted to put in some more training and I couldn't find him, Kakashi said as he rubbed the back of his neck. He was telling the truth this time since he went to get Sasuke, but couldn't find him at all and had to look all over to find him. Whatever Kakashi, can you and your student leave so I can begin the next match? Hayate asked. I'm an Uchiha. They can't do this to me, Sasuke declared. I really don't care who you are, Genin. You were disqualified due to being a no-show for your match. Next time be on time, Hayate said in an uncaring tone. Sasuke glared at Hayate. Leave the field, Uchiha. You're not only disgracing yourself, but your village with your behavior, Gaara said. Yeah, we've got a match to start and you're holding us up, Naruto said, adding in his 2 cents. Sasuke glared at Naruto and pushed Kakashi's hand off of his shoulder and charged at Naruto. He was going to show Naruto who was stronger. But before he could even get close to Naruto, his feet got stuck. He looked down and saw that there was sand wrapped up to his ankles. The Uchiha struggled to get out, but he could barely move an inch. You have already disgraced yourself and your village for not showing up, and now you're making it worse by attacking shinobi who is related to the Uzukage without a reason. You could start a war with New Whirlpool for your actions, Gaara said. Release me, I am an Uchiha, Sasuke growled. No, Gaara said calmly. Sasuke snarled as he tried harder to get himself free from the sand, unaware that everyone was watching the scene. Kakashi, please take your student before he disgraces you, himself and Konoha even more than he already is, Naruto said. Kakashi sighed and nodded. He grabbed Sasuke and after making sure he had a firm grip on the Uchiha, he nodded to Gaara to release his hold and then shunshined them away. Well, now that little production is over. Let's get this match started, Naruto said as he cracked his knuckles. Yes, let's get to it, Gaara said. Hayate looked at the two and nodded. The second round of the Chunin exams is ready to commence. The match between Gaara and Naruto Uzumaki, begin. Gaara started off by hurling sand-made spears at Naruto. Naruto dodged them and went through hand signs and created a sword made out of water and hacked and slashed through all the sand spears. Scene break. Incredible. I've never seen a jutsu like that before, Asuma said. Yeah, the brat can go, Anko said. Of course he's good. He's an Uzumaki and they are some of the best, Yuffie said proudly. Kakashi and Sasuke arrived and Kakashi plopped Sasuke right between his two biggest fans. Sasuke was angry with his new situation and tried to leave, but with Sakura and Ino on either side of him made it hard. They were smothering him. All he could do was glare down at the field knowing that he should be done there fighting Naruto, not Gaara. Troublesome. That's why I bailed when I could, Shikamaru said as he watched the match. Aw, come on Shikamaru. This is totally awesome. I just wished I was down there, then I'd show them who the top dog really is, Kiba said. Didn't you get your butt handed to you by Naruto in your match? Tenten asked with a smirk. Kiba grumbled at this. Hey, cheer up, Biscuit Breath. You got that far in your first Chunin exam, Yuffie said. What did you call me? Kiba asked. I called you Biscuit Breath, because it sounds right since that's what your breath smells like, Yuffie said like it was the most obvious thing in the world. Kiba growled and looked ready to attack Yuffie. Kiba, have you been eating those dog biscuits again? I told you they are for the Ninken, not for you, a teenage girl with brown hair and markings on her face. Hey Hana, grab a seat, Anko said smiling at the newcomer. Hana smiled as she sat down. This Hana is my new best friend, Yuffie. She's so awesome, Anko gushed. Hana looked shocked at Anko's behavior and looked to Kurenai for an explanation. From the look the female Inuzuka was getting from the Genjutsu mistress, she saw that this was true. Mainly since Kurenai looked like she was getting a migraine. Hana looked back to Anko, who was looking at Yuffie like Yuffie was her idol. Yuffie meanwhile was laughing her off since Kiba actually eats dog biscuits. Scene break. Back to the match. Gaara evaded Naruto's blade made of water and threw Naruto back with a huge fist made of sand. Naruto skidded back, but then stood up breathing a little hard, but wasn't hurt badly at all. You've gotten better, Gaara commented. Yeah, well, I knew I needed to, Naruto said as he wiped his mouth. But before they could go into another bout, feathers floated down, causing everyone in the stadium to fall asleep except for those shinobi keen enough to break out of it. Soon explosions were heard. Shit, the invasion, Naruto grumbled since he was getting into the match. He and Gaara jumped up and there they were met with Temari, Konkuro, Samui, Karui and Omoi. What are our orders, Naruto? Ryo asked. Scene break. In the cage booth, the explosions went off. The cage revealed himself to be Orochimaru. The snake Sanin was so confident that his plan would still work even with all the hiccups and glitches it had. He grabbed Hiruzen and then pulled him up. Selene and A followed up, and soon the three cages were locked inside a barrier. The Anbu and Selene and A's guards stood outside, not sure what to do. Scene break. Meanwhile, there was fights breaking out all over the stadium as well as outside it too, with Sound Nin attacking as well as Suna Nin too. The Junin were fighting. Yeah, now this is awesome. Yuffie shouted as she pulled out a big sword that was twice as big as herself from one of her scrolls. She then laughed in a maniacal as she swung it around like it weighed nothing. Anko had stars in her eyes. Hideko sighed and shook his head as he took down another two Sound Nin. The Konoha Junin joined in, with Guy already challenging Kakashi to see how many opponents each can take out. Whenever Guy remarked about his score, Kakashi would one-up him, which made the green spandex wearing Junin shouted about something, then declare his flames of youth as he took on more enemy Nin.